shade on the field, the humidity about halfway. The wind won't hurt either kicker, and it is a beautiful sunny day here in Texas. And the Eastern Division, it's going to get tight. The Redskins are 6-1. Dallas and New York are 5-2. And as you know, the Giants and the Redskins play on Monday night. This baby's going to get tight. Hi, everyone. I'm Tom Brookshire. Along with me, the former Eagle coach, Dick Vermeil. The injuries have hit the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, Danny White will start at quarterback today after missing almost 3 full games. Other than that, Tony Dorsett had a talk with Coach Landry yesterday afternoon and decided that between the two of them that he would sit out today if at all possible and rest that left ankle and left knee. So he's not in there. His substitute, a fellow named Herschel Walker. All right, let's talk about this. 31-7 the score between these two teams the first time. Is that a good sign for Dallas, or is that a bad sign from a coaching viewpoint?
Well, I think, Tom, actually, when the team beats a team soundly, the edge goes to the losing team because that motivates them a little bit more, and sometimes the winning team takes you for granted a little bit. Plus, you have to realize this. Dallas, the America's team, they motivate that NFC East team to play a little bit better. The coaches coach a little bit better. Hey, get pumped. You really do.
Now, yesterday we sat and talked with Tom Landry for at length, really, out at the training base, that beautiful place out there, and I've never seen him more relaxed and more poised. Did you feel that way, too, that he's confident about this team?
Well, he says the team is deep. It has a chance to be one of his better football teams, but regardless of being poised and relaxed, there is a concern. He's concerned about Roy Green, number 81, the fine wide receiver from the St. Louis Cardinals. He's back and starting. And as you can see by this stat, he has been effective against the Dallas Cowboys.
He is the Cowboy killer. Jetstream Roy Green's back. And back to run it back are Sekahima, the young rookie Samoan, and Eric Swanson, number 86. And, of course, Rafael Septien, one of the great kickers in this game, will kick off. And the crowd is on its feet, and this is going to be a loud and noisy one. St. Louis won the toss. How about this? They've won 8 consecutive games against the NFC East opponents the Cowboys had. The last loss last November when the St. Louis Cardinals under Jim Hamilton upset them. So you do not take anyone lightly. It's not too deep. Swanson. Good run back out to the 30-yard line. And the Cardinals scuffle a little bit on the opening kickoff return. Neil Lomax, 50 consecutive starts for this quarterback, the longest quarterback streak in the entire NFL. He's a good-looking thrower. Defensively, Ed Jones, John Dutton, Randy White, Jim Jeffcoat, all number 1 draft choices of a few years ago. Hegman, Lockhart, and Jeff Rohr played very well at the outside. Walls and Fellows, Bill Bates is back, and Michael Dowd, that's a good secondary. First and 10. They have it at the 28. Great drop back. Lomax very calm. He has time. Point for Green. Off of number 24. Everson Ball's hands almost picked off.
Tom, that's a way to let the defense know that Roy Green is back. Go after him right off the bat.
Lomax will work with Stump Mitchell, who is now the back. No, the big fella's gone. Anderson's in New York. Earl Farrell, a very underrated fullback. J.T. Smith, and, of course, Roy Green. Up front, Sharp, Kennard, who did a pretty good job with Randy White the first time. Clark Bostic, Lance Smith, and Doug Marsh, the tight end. And Lomax on 2nd down and 10. Looks like he might have changed the play. Inside run by the fullback. That's Earl Farrell. Maybe a couple. Out over the 32-yard line. Tackled by Jeffcoat.
You know, right now they find themselves in the 3rd and long situation, and this really is where Dallas has been the best, Tom. They're very good on 3rd down defensing. They've only allowed the opponent 34.7% conversion on 3rd down. It's tough to move the ball on 3rd down.
And they're experienced. 3rd down and 7. The shotgun. From the up position. Lomax now being chased out. Ed Jones made him throw the ball out of bounds, intended for number 84 on the outside, J.T. Smith. That's a defensive roar from the crowd.
Ed Jones ought to get credit for playing pass defense on that one, Tom. Good rush, good upfield move, and he's so tall at 6'8". When he puts his hands up, it's like trying to throw over the top of a telephone pole, and there's no way you can throw the ball accurately.
This will be Greg Cater's third game for St. Louis. Did a real good job kicking the ball for them. Gordon Banks back to return for Dallas. Look at Cater just sneaking a peek out of the corner of his eye to see if the rush is coming. You know how Cowboys love to block punts. Return is on. This is a good hang time. It's a very high kick. Banks moving up to fair catch it, and does with a good catch at the 31. A 5:09 hang time. And here comes Danny White. He missed Denver. He came in last week for the last play or so to get ready for Septien's field goal, but he has been hurt with that little groin pull. Closby, Galloway, and Bubba Baker at defensive end. They're playing the 34. Freddie Joe Nunn, E.J. Jr. has bad ribs. He'll play. Noga and Charlie Baker. The secondary, Washington and Mack, Leonard Smith and Lonnie Young, they will be tested a lot by this man. First and 10 at the 32. Misdirection handoff to Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker breaks out to the 48-yard line on his first carry, tackled by Lonnie Young.
Taking a look at this from the end zone, Tom, you'll notice the left tackle on the left side of your screen pulls and traps. Now, he'll be seeing number 63 it is actually, excuse me, not the left tackle. The left guard gets a nice block right there from Posderick, number 75. Good, powerful, strong man. Not the most nifty in terms of making people miss, but you've got to wrap your arms around him to bring him down.
A 16-yard burst by the only receiver back that has over 300 yards catching and rushing the football. Misdirection handoff. You know who it is. Get used to it. To the 45-yard line. Herschel Walker. Here's the offense, and they are explosive. White's back in there. Herschel Walker. Enough said. Timmy Newsom, one of the great blockers in all of football. Tony Hill and Mike Renfro, and Sherrard will be in there quickly. The line. 2-A. Titanser, Rafferty, Crawford Kerr, Posderick, and Big Doug Cosby. They're settling down offensively, too. Second down and 4. The play-action pass. White finds an open receiver, Tony Hill, at the 32-yard line. And Danny White was very relaxed on that throw.
You're going to notice here that Danny White is going to fake to number 34, Herschel Walker, freezing the linebackers. Now watch him make a little ball extension fake, freezes the linebackers. Now there's no one underneath that throw. Good little stop pattern there by number 80, Tony Hill, brought down by Lionel Washington, number 48.
First pass for White, a 14-yarder to Tony Hill, who's having another great year. First and 10. Long counting. Here's that option, play option play by Herschel Walker just to the 30.5-yard line. Charlie Baker read that. That's the play that Washington made famous, isn't it?
Washington Redskins run it. Everybody runs that football. Now, they vary the formation a lot, but we're talking about a play where the back in the backfield steps one direction, allowing the lineman to pull, right, Tom? And then giving them time to get out in front of him. A little counter action to freeze the linebackers. Then he gets running off tackle. The Redskins call it what? Gap?
Gap. Yeah. Second down and 9. The play only picked up 1 yard by Herschel Walker. Shift into a throw set backfield. Now, Newsom is gone. The toss is back to the only back. Herschel Walker is trapped. Good defensive play out at the 32-yard line by Charlie Baker.
Charlie Baker, number 52, playing right outside linebacker for St. Louis. Did a real nice. See him right there in the middle of your screen. Coming off there on Doug Cosby. Straight, seems straight up. Arms extended. Works inside out on the play. Turns him back inside. Makes the play all by himself. Gathers a crowd of red jerseys and puts him down. Good defensive linebacker play.
Well, Gene Stallings told us the only reason he put in the 34 was because that's all he had. He had about 3 defensive linemen, some good linebackers, and it's proving that out so far.
Yeah, Curtis Greer, the fine defensive lineman, is out with a knee injury.
3rd and 9. Thornton Chandler, the big rookie tight end, is in there. Cosby's out. Shotgun. Uh-oh. Looks like Galloway may have jumped. Or Stafford Mays.
That's one way to get on television. Whoop, excuse me.
Gene Stallings is not going to like this way. Penalties have been killing them.
Encroachment, number 76.
That's Freddie Wyatt. He's the head man. You can see that Gene Stallings completely agrees with the officials.
I can't understand why a defensive lineman lined right up in front of the ball. He's close enough to smell it. and it doesn't move, he goes offside. I don't know, he's got to be listening to the quarterback's cadence.
3rd down and 4. Pretty good opening drive here. The first time the Cowboys have touched the ball. They moved right on down on Herschel. Walker's running in one white pass. White taking a lot of time, throws a bad pass way over the hands of Mike Renfro on the sidelines. Andy White, almost too casually that time, just wasted it. Septien now will come on in to kick the field goal.
Raphael is having a real good year. He's hit 18 straight inside the 40 as of right now, Tom. You can't do it any better, can you?
And his 38-yarder was the one that, with 2 seconds left, that beat the Eagles only last week.
That's right.
He says it's like a golfer with a driver in his hand. You've got to strike them all, but easily, and you never white knuckle it or white hip it or whatever you would do with a kid. Valur's holding. This is a 43-yard attempt.
He's missed his only attempt from this distance this year.
And as the Cowboys do so often, the first time they get the ball, they go down and deposit 3 points. Dallas leads. 9:57 left in this first quarter. Cowboys have 3. You can see Herschel Walker and Cosby and Tony Dorsett right there just in case, but he really wants to rest that knee and ankle and be ready for the stretch run when the Cowboys hope to go to the whip and right into the playoffs. See Tony D out there? They're 2 of the great running backs you'll ever see in a football uniform. They're standing together.
Yeah, I know it. I tell you, that would have to give you great confidence as an offensive coach.
Wouldn't it?
Your IQ really goes up.
Septien's field goal, kickoff, very short, taken at the 18-yard line by one of the upbacks. That's Broderick Sargent. A fight almost breaks out there as Diassi and company stop the run back. A short kick by Septien almost caused a near riot at right around the 30-yard line.
These teams over the years have had some real heated battles, Tom. I mean, fist fights, shoulders popping each other, elbows. They've had some tough ones. From the left of your screen, you're going to see some contact made with other than a shoulder pad. Now it's up on the top of your screen. Here it is. There's a push in the mush. Oop, bang. Yeah, I'm going to take that one, Vince says. Oop, here comes back. Now come with a left hook.
Oh,
no.
Diassi came over to play Sargent at arms. There's always somebody that wants to help you out. So glad they were around when I played. First down and 10. The ball's on the 30-yard line. The toss back to Stump Mitchell. Mitchell gets maybe a yard and a half. John Dutton sliding over for that tackle. Young team under Gene Stallings. You can see they've been outscored 38-3 in the first quarter.
What makes it even tougher is Dallas defense hasn't given up a touchdown in the first quarter. So, I mean, that makes it a little tough. It's like running up against the wall.
Boy, we sure had a good visit with Stallings on Friday. We went in and watched the St. Louis workout. He likes people that hit first, and then he'll try to make talented football players out of them.
His priorities are a little different than some.
2nd down and 9. The ball's in the 31. The rush is on. Good throw by Lomax. Almost picked off. Intended for Smith, and Fellows made a closure on the ball and almost had the interception.
You're going to see Bill Bates, number 40, sneaking right up here from his safety position and put good pressure on. He's picked up, but the quarterback is forced to throw the ball quickly. Now, watch, see, there he comes. He's picked up. Wham! He lets that thing go in the slant, almost intercepted by Fellows, number 27.
The one problem with the defense for the Cowboys is they only have 6 interceptions, and they usually have more than that in one game. Lomax is 0 for 3 so far, and it's 3rd down and 9. Lomax, good quick throw, just misses the receiver. Troy Johnson made a diving stab at it. Looked like he might have pressured that throw a little bit.
Well, they did come with some pressure right there. I was watching the receiver timing with a quarterback on that one, Tom, and he was just a little bit. Now watch Michael Downs, number 26, in the middle of your screen. Now remember, he's a free safety. And he's coming in there, not picked up, but in the shotgun, the advantage is if he comes free like that, you can still get the ball off. But he got it off just a little too quick.
The numbers on Cater, a 36-yarder, fair caught by Banks, and he's making his 2nd punt. Used to kick with Buffalo, so you can kick in all kinds of weather. I guarantee you that. Banks at the 34. To the 42-yard line. Good little athlete, good run back, and again some extracurricular action. 3-0 Dallas, and the Cowboys have the football. There's absolutely nothing like Texas football. This is a place most people in America could close their eyes and visualize Texas Stadium and the Cowboys against the Cardinals. Tom Brookshire and Dick Vermeil, and boy, we're happy to be here.
How about that new training facility, Tom? How about that new facility they took us through yesterday?
Well, Tex Ram said everybody's going to be jealous, but he said they always are anyway. We might as well build the best. It's beautiful. First and 10, the ball on the 42. Good field position again for Danny White's offense. 2 pro backs left as Sherrard moves out. Now only 1 back there. And that's Herschel Walker gets the toss and also gets a headache just shy of the 40-yard line as Noga came up very quickly. Nobody fooled on defense.
Nico Noga. I had a nice visit with Nico Noga in the locker room there Friday. He's from the University of Hawaii. He started there all 4 years, Tom. Actually made all conference as a freshman. I don't know how tough he is, but look at that expression right there. He looks tough.
He said, don't call me Nicky. My name is
Nico.
Nico. I said, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, whatever you say is fine with me.
Second down and 12. The ball's on the 39-yard line. Danny White's changing, shifting a million different fronts. Those Cardinals are going to see different formations. Straight drop back. Danny White really taking his time setting up, and he's got all day. Now tries to get it across to Tony Hill, who's bounced around at the 43 by E.J. Jr. And that play looked like it broke down from the first snap.
I actually think there was a mistake made in the pattern, Tom. I think Danny was looking back to throw back deep, and there was no one going deep, and someone running a crossing pattern rather than going deep.
Hackett's influence, the offensive coordinator, takes the Cosby and the tight end sort of out of the pass offense. That's unusual for them. Dallas,
well, yeah. You know the tight end's always going to catch some balls, but not like they have here in the past. You reflect back to the 49er tight ends, Tom. They're not the 50 and 60 receivers, and Hackett came from the 49er approach.
Third down and 12. Shotgun. Herschel Walker's in the slot to the bottom of your screen. White's being rushed this time. He gets away, and now he fumbles the ball. Stafford Mays is chasing it down, and the Cardinals have the football. Crosby caused it. Let's see who recovered it on the bottom of there. I believe Anthony Bell, the #1 draft, came up with the football on the artificial surface.
The breakdown actually came, and the coverage did a real good job of taking the pattern away. Now, Danny's in the shotgun. He normally gets enough time. Now, the rush is going to come from the right side of the screen right there. See him coming around the outside. Crosby, number 79. There he is coming in, and Danny had the ball out trying to get ready to throw the ball out away from his body, and therefore the fumble's loose. Now they've got to get on it. First down, St. Louis.
The 7th fumble recovered by the Cardinals, and it really gives them great field position. They only trail 3-0. First and 10, the ball on the 26. Straight handoff. Earl Farrell, maybe inside the 25. A lot of Cowboys there, including Randy White, who had a great game against the Eagles a week ago.
Tough to make a living running inside against that defense. That Eugene Lockhart, number 56, the big, strong inside linebacker, is really starting to come on in the mold of the 3 previous fine inside linebackers in Tubbs, Jordan, and Brunig. He is going to be in that same class somewhere down the road.
Yeah, they haven't had many, but they've all been quality.
Yes, sir.
A ground level shot of 2nd down and 9 facing these Cardinals. Call the ball on the 25. Lomax moves his receiver. Now he has some time. Does he have time to throw it? It's batted down by the linebacker coming in, Mike Hegman, and it never got out of the pocket.
If you set up short from a quarterback standpoint, Tom, and don't get rid of the ball, guys like Hagman and the Dallas defense getting penetration, they get to you. If you're going to set up and hold the ball, you better set up just a little bit deeper than 5 or 6 yards off the line of scrimmage. There's Hagman. He bats it with his left hand, just like playing volleyball on the beach.
11 years as a Cowboy, and boy, he's played well every year. He remembers the Super Bowl. That's what they want to do. 3rd down and 8. Ball is on the 25-yard line of Dallas. Lomax, does he have time? He's got an open receiver and misses Green in the end zone. Roy Green ran the slant out and was wide open and simply overthrown.
You can see that Roy Green has the speed, and as Neil Lomax told us the other day, he is so excited to have that kind of guy back because it makes practice exciting, and it gives you confidence as a quarterback when you go back to throw that you have a guy with the ability to get open and also get the big one.
John Lee, the rookie from UCLA, your old school, Dick, had a little trouble getting adjusted.
He's had some problems, Lloyd. He was a great kicker in college. I mean, unbelievable stats in college, hitting 86%.
This is a 42-yard attempt. It's smothered. Lee is running tackle at the 34. Flags are down. Flags are down. The flags are down. Michael Downs tackled him. Wyatt will figure this out.
It looked like Kent Austin, the quarterback, number 16.
Holding against St. Louis. The Cowboys have held. Can Stallings get a penalty if he steps out too far on the field?
Yeah, you can, but not in that situation, normally talking to your own player. But they've had a lot of problems in this field goal situation.
Holding, number 24, decline, first down.
Number 24 was holding on that field goal attempt. That's Wolfley.
You can see right there, actually it looks like it gets down all right. The whole timing of the whole play was wrong.
Boy, Fellows was in there so quickly, Wolfley barely had time to hold him. 3-0 Dallas. Dick, you picked up something in the background on this aborted field goal attempt.
Yes, see, Ben Agajanian standing right here is timing the St. Louis Cardinals long snap, hold,
in the background here?
In the background up there at the top left-hand, right-hand corner. And he's doing that so he can hear the rushes as the game goes on.
Cowboys take over. They smothered it. It was a bad snap by Ruther. But no 3 points for St. Louis. Those are tough to give away, and Gene Stallings knows that. Herschel Walker inside, dragging Bubba Baker with him. Pickup of a couple of yards. Herschel, by the way, when I was here the second week of the season, we've got an injury on the field. That's Junior, who came in with some bad ribs, and I wonder if he's been hit around the rib cage again.
The only thing he said on the field the other day, he says, "Coach, there's no way they're keeping me out of the Dallas Cowboy football game." And that's really the mental approach that the NFC East has in regard to playing the Cowboys. They all want to carry their best effort in against the Cowboys.
And Junior, of course, has really been playing outstanding defensive football.
It looks like it's a little
Remember,
more than
next Sunday on CBS, that's right, Dallas against the New York Giants at the Meadowlands. It's going to be some battle. A lot of great players will be on the field, or you might see the Eagles against the St. Louis Cardinals that are here today. Minnesota against Washington, a good lineup. It all starts with the NFL Today, the studio back in New York, and then right here on CBS.
Gene Stallings, I really enjoyed visiting with him, Tom. What did he say? My priorities in a player go, number one, I want a guy that'll hit somebody. That's the number one thing. He said, right now, I don't have enough of my personality-type players on this roster, and if they give me enough time, we're going to have some people in here that'll part you down the middle. That's where it all starts.
Remember what Stallings said, too? He said, you got to convince your guys that your X's and O's are better than the other fellas. The leg they're working on. We're not trying to diagnose an injury, but this young man from Alabama has been quite a player, and we hope it is not serious. It looks like he's going to be all right to get up. He'll get a good hand from the crowd here. These people like good football and good clean play.
E.J. Jr., he's lined up right here on the left hash mark as we look at it, playing linebacker. Let's follow it and see if we can find out what happened. He approaches the guard there right now. Now Titans goes underneath it, and you can see his own offensive lineman came in from behind and fell in back of the knee, Tom. And that's always the worst kind. You don't see that one coming.
Galloway just happened to fall on one of his own teammates. It's amazing to me that we don't have more injuries. The tremendous contact and speed. Ron Monaco, number 59, will try to replace E.J. Jr. Walker now has 24 yards on 6 carries. And second down and 6. Ball is on the 38-yard line. Dallas has it in their own territory. Danny White missed the Denver game. the Washington game, and all but about one play of the Eagle game. Play action pass, great fake, wide open receiver, Sherrard, and he catches the ball. There's a strike, and Sherrard, the amazing rookie from UCLA, made a diving catch, a 40-yarder.
You're going to see right here Michael Sherrard come down here and make a little post move and head down the hole with the play action freezing both linebackers inside, so there's no underneath help. Now look at the play action. No one there. Safeties come all the way up inside. No one in the hole. Poor free safety play on that play. He's got to be back in that hole. Great catch by Sherrard. Right at the end of this, Tom, Mr. White looked like a late shot by Mr. Baker.
A late hit, a lot of that going on. Danny White, though, threw the ball perfectly away from any help that could possibly be on that coverage. 1st and 10, the ball's on the 22. The misdirection handoff. Not much. Good defensive rush there. Herschel Walker tackled by Baker. And 2 or 3 friends. Herschel Walker, by the way, the second week of the season when I came through here, he weighed 216. Yesterday he weighed in at 223, so he's getting his weight back up to that 225, where I think he feels just as fast and a lot stronger.
You know, the thing, you're talking about getting stronger. I think this is the kind of guy, kind of running back, that if he carried the ball on into the 4th quarter, getting into his 25th, 26th rep, he'd be even running better at that time.
And maybe a long one. He's got that 9-100-yard dash speed. 2nd down and 10. Newsom is gone. Everybody is, except Danny White and the ball. Now he's going to run with it. Now he throws it on the run. Did he cross the line of scrimmage? It's going to be close. The flag is down. Intended for a Renfro, but I believe the quarterback crossed that line. He didn't get too deep a drop, so he stepped over it almost before he realized it.
Actually, you know, Danny White, if being a little bit younger and not coming into the game a little banged up, he probably would have tucked the ball under his arm and run on up in there for the 1st down.
Yeah. We have pass beyond the line of scrimmage, number 11, 5 yards, loss of down.
The ball was on the 22-yard line. He throws the ball from the 20-yard line. Now follow Danny to the right middle of your screen. He's coming back. He sets up nicely. He sees a hole develop inside. Now he gets anxious and starts running. There he is, throwing at about the 20-yard line. Can't do it, Dan.
Loss of down is the big item there. It's 3rd down and 13, and suddenly the Cowboys are in shotgun. The rush is on, and White tries to get it off. Tony Hill tries to come back for it. It's knocked away by Wayne Smith. And Danny White is getting up again. Big rush from the bottom of the screen there as Claspi got in there. Danny White stayed in there, bravely tried to get the catch.
It was really close downfield to being pass interference. There was more than just mutual contact made by both. They were fighting all the way down.
Come on, they were both going for the ball. That's pretty good coverage down there. I thought Wayne Smith did a good job. A 43-yard attempt by Septien. Of course, he made the one earlier in this game from 42. Kallur's holding. Guess what? The smaller man, the great athlete from Mexico City. He struck gold again. It's 6-0. Dick, Danny White had 3 touchdown passes against St. Louis that first game. Looks like they're putting a little bit of blitzing heat, a little bit more, just because he's got the bad hip.
It's effective right now, but you got to watch out doing that too consistently, because that means you're getting single coverage outside. They start picking that up, then it's one-on-one. Could be a problem.
And every time those Cowboys get into your plus territory, they ring the bell, don't they?
Got a little blood off the chin there.
The quarterback, everybody thinks it's glamorous. Sometimes it's very, very tough. That's Swanson at the goal line. Swanson out over the 20, gets a good block and makes it to the 30.5-yard line. Good run back by the young Cardinal. Michael Downs forced him out. Next Saturday on CBS, great names come back-to-back. First, Heisman hopeful Vinny Testaverde, and if you haven't seen him, do it. And the #1 ranked Miami Hurricanes host Florida State. Then the Los Angeles Lakers and the Houston Rockets stage a heated rematch in the season premiere of the NBA on CBS. You talk about some athletes. Don't miss that one either. St. Louis has had 5 total yards in 10 plays and no first down. Ball's on the 30, 1st and 10. Roy Green's gone through the formation. Here's the screen pass out to Smith on the side. Smith picks up over 6 yards on it. We watched them trying this play out on Friday afternoon a couple of times.
I saw this clever little thing. They bring the man in motion, Roy Green right here. The ball snap, he blocks this man here as he gets the ball and tries to get up inside the screen. Clever little design. Now watch Roy Green, number 81. Now right in the middle of the screen, he gets the block on Fellows. He gets up inside with a receiver. He's now a running back.
Roy Green, of course, had that little chip taken out of that ankle on the 24th of September. He looks like he's full speed again. Stump Mitchell with the carry. And the Cardinals get the first down as Lockhart makes the tackle.
Nice blocking by Doug Marsh, the tight end, number 80. Did a good job of blocking on Jeff Rohr, number 50, the outside linebacker. And Doug Marsh really is the only physical blocking tight end they have on the roster at 238. Their backup tight end is a combination of wide receiver and tight end, Novacek, number 85, and they can't afford to lose him.
Stump Mitchell is a small man, but he's got a heart as big as a watermelon, you know, over a 5-yard average in this league. And he gives you everything he's got. 1st and 10. The first one for the Cardinals, and they're at the 44-yard line. The blitz is on. Lomax reads it, gets it out to Green. Carefully, very carefully run out at the 41-yard line by Walls, who made sure he used the sidelines.
You're going to see Bill Bates, number 40, working his way up here as Green's coming in motion. He's going to come out here and get the flat. He's coming on, forcing the quick throw. Here he comes. Get rid of the ball. He gets picked up. He lays it out there nicely. Now you've got the ball in the hands of an athlete that can beat you. Roy Green, number 81.
Good read by Lomax and a real smooth pass. 1st and 10 on the 41 of Dallas. High formation. Inside hand to Farrell. Offensive line came off pretty decently against a very tough defensive front four.
Now, we were talking earlier about Gene Stallings and the kind of players he likes. He says Earl Farrell, number 31, is my kind of player. He's not selfish. He doesn't care if he gets the ball. And Farrell really loves this new style of offense because he already has had the ball in his hands more than he did last year in the whole season. But this guy will get after you. He'll climb your frame.
2 touchdown catches last week against Washington, and they almost caught the Redskins. 2nd down and 6. First good legitimate drive the Cardinals have had in this first period. They're coming for the blitz. The handoff. They beat it. It's going to be short of the first, but Farrell picks up a couple of 3 yards as the cat and mouse game goes on. Offense against defense. Hegman somehow slid over and made the tackle. The Cardinals are not a great road team. They've lost 10 of their last 11 on the road. But Stallings is a new coach, and they've got a new program. 3rd down and 2. Cardinals need this one. Mitchell has the first down. His helmet at least got to the 30-yard line. Randy White also got there.
Boy, on 3rd and 2, it's tough to get outside on these guys. Now, watch Randy White playing defensive tackle as it is. He takes the guard on, works inside out, not allowing the cutback. Watch Randy White, the all-pro, number 54. Boom! Now they're going to reach block on him right there. Watch him shred tacklers right there, throw him off, coming inside out. This is a 275-pound lineman that can run like a linebacker. Good play by Randy White.
Randy White against young Kennard over there. Only had 1 tackle in the first game, but he's healthy from that thigh bruise and playing well. Still a first down for the Cardinals. Inside handoff. Farrell. Boy, he's a load. 6 feet tall, 224 pounds. He's not a little back.
He's not. He's got a 4.5 average, a 4.7 career average, which is outstanding. But he's just now getting in the style of offense that takes advantage of his physicalness. He's not a finesse type guy, Tom. He just gets after you. Sort of a throwback to the old type guys.
Stallings will like him.
Oh, yeah.
The closing seconds of the first quarter.
He could have probably played for you guys when you were a kid, you know, on that style of football team. The old Green Bay team, you know, and that kind of stuff.
In the mud and everything.
Mud, dirt, yeah.
Lomax going over as they change 6-0. 2 Septian field goals. Cardinals got it rolling a little bit. 63,264. Make that 65. What a beautiful girl that Dallas cheerleader girl is down there. We're
Funny you would notice that.
Yes, it just came upon me very suddenly. 6-0 score here at the stadium. 2 Septian field goals from beyond 40 yards, 44 and 43. And a good drive right here by the St. Louis Cardinals as Lomax seems very calm, and the game plan appears to be very basic, but well thought out by Stallings' team. 2nd down and 3. Lomax is 2 of 8, 21 yards. The I formation. The reverse to number 80 coming around. Doug Marsh breaks the tackle inside the Dallas 20 with a leap to about the 18-yard line. Pretty good play, the tight end around.
That's the first time I've seen a true tight end around this year.
Scores from elsewhere. We'll just continually feed these through so you people are kept abreast of the action around the league. 1st and 10. A good drive by the Cardinals. And they trail, as we said, by only 6. Lomax is a flamethrower. On 1st and 10, will he go for it? No, the toss back to Stump Mitchell. Good block by Farrell, but good recovery by that Dallas defense.
It's Randy White again. He was back in there, got good penetration, forced the play to go back inside to where all the rest of the enemy was, and nothing there.
Ernie Stautner, the defensive line coach, is trying to get Randy White to play at 260. But Randy said, don't tell him, but I'm having trouble getting down there. Randy's weighing about 270 and carrying it probably as well as he has in his whole career, and he is absolutely great.
There's 3 things he loves: his wife and family, football, and bass fishing.
And he's good.
He's good at all of it.
At all 3. 2nd down and 9, a gain of yards. A yard by Stump Mitchell. Good time this time. Lomax overthrowing Green again in the end zone. Roy Green thought he might have been held by Everson Walls a little bit. It's hard to overthrow Roy Green.
They were coming after him again with everybody that time. Therefore, they were singled up, and Roy Green was singled up. And so far, they've missed him twice by overthrowing him. Lomax has got probably just out of rhythm, out of sync a little bit with Roy Green.
In the last 6 quarters, make it 7 quarters now, Lomax has had 5 touchdowns, so he's beginning to get it humming a little bit now that they've learned to know one another under the Stallings system. 3rd down and 9. This drive started on the Cardinal 31. This is a good drive. Shotgun. Lomax with a lot of time and an open receiver, and it's knocked away. Farrell couldn't hang on, and I don't see any flags now. Jesse Penn really stuck the receiver. For a moment, it looked like it had touchdown written all over it.
I think he came out of the right wingback spot in the shotgun formation. They went a coverage toward the slot and therefore singled him up down the hole. Here it is, ground level. You can see what it is, fans, to catch a ball down in that goal line area. You're never alone. Look at that helmet come right up underneath the chin. Boy, does that smart.
Michael Downs was in on that tackle. John Lee now. Remember the first one. Ruther had not a good snap, and the ball was sort of smothered by the Cowboys. Kid Austin is holding. 35-yard attempt.
Kenny Lee was 58 out of 60 in college inside the 40, and I think he's really struggling right now. I had some good conversations with him Saturday. As we go, we'll get to share them with you.
Okay. Austin is a rookie quarterback. He's a new holder. Is this one good? That's going to be a confidence builder. The young man, the first NFL player ever from Asia, and he scores. Johnny Lee, boy, I bet he's breathing a good sigh of relief.
He needs that confidence builder, as you said, Tom, because in talking to him, he said, Coach, it's not the lack of a kicking team that's hurting me. It's not the width of the goalpost or the narrower goalpost, as in pro football.
They are more
it's narrower. It's not that. He says it's the mental side of the game is so much tougher. He says here, when I miss one, they boo. They don't like me. In college, they think, oh, what the heck? You're just a kid. You're supposed to miss one once in a while, he said, but not in St. Louis in pro football.
Young Lee kicking off. Levette at the 5-yard line. He is dangerous. Levette sliding to the 27-yard line. I don't see any flags down. Been a long time since the Dallas Cowboys have had a kickoff return for a touchdown.
It's been a long time, like you said earlier, what, 1975? Talking about those goalposts, though, Tom, in regard to the kicker going from college ball. See that goalpost, fans? That goalpost is 18 foot 6 inches wide. Well, in college, NCAA, it's 23 foot 4 inches. Well, that's a difference of almost 5 feet. It makes a difference regardless of what he says.
From a great distance, it becomes very, very important. First down and 10 on the 27. Danny White has been the starter all the way. Herschel gets short of the 30-yard line, maybe a yard and a half. Good defense again by St. Louis.
Herschel looks up and talks to Mr. Baker there. Hey, don't hit me like that. Don't you like me?
This team has only won one game, but they came very close to beating the Redskins. And Tom Landry, when we talked with him, was very worried about this game, really genuine concern.
Well, there's no such thing as an easy game, and that is a cliche. And people don't believe you, but they think coaches are paranoid, which we are.
Second down and 8. Toss to Herschel Walker. Walker pounds out over the 31. Straightened up there as he barely got his shoulder straightened toward the line of scrimmage. I think Bubba Baker, number 60, stood him up.
You know who did a nice job on that play, even though the result was not very good, was Tim Newsom, number 30. He did a real nice job of blocking the outside linebacker. And last week, as we noticed in the films of last week's games, rather the tapes, Newsom did an outstanding job of playing that fullback position, blocking, running, and catching. And as a result, he won the game ball. I think he's playing better now than I've seen him in the past.
And this offense could strike in many different ways. The total offense, they're like third in the NFL, and they're doing a very good job of it here. Third down and 6. White has to hurry, but he gets it off to Walker. Walker is tackled after a first down by Leonard Smith. But Herschel Walker, if he had made the sidelines, would have been putting the ball down in the end zone.
Great example here, Tom, of the advantage of the shotgun over dropping back from the quarterback position. Now, you're going to see a man hesitate here, let it start to develop, and then come in late and not get picked up. But he doesn't get to the quarterback in time. Now, the quarterback absorbs in a blow, but if he'd have been dropping back to throw that ball, taking the snap, he'd have been sacked, and therefore you wouldn't have had a completion.
What a tackle, though, by Leonard Smith, number 45. That was a touchdown-saving tackle. First and 10 now. Quick drop outside to Herschel Walker. Now the flanker. Out over the 50 into St. Louis territory. Leonard Smith making the tackle. You can move him around almost any position on the field.
And he's so big, and then it's hard to realize that he can run about a 9'2", 9'100". I mean, it's scary. And what Landry's most impressed about this guy is his humility. He says he's really a class guy. And now, people say that about a lot of people nowadays. You know, everyone's the greatest, the classiest, and the sharpest, and the brightest. But Landry was very sincere in saying this guy has a lot of class, and he's a very humble young man.
The ball just short of midfield. 10.5 minutes left before halftime. 6-3 ball game, Dallas. And Dallas is trying to get something started. It's a good guy to start with, Herschel Walker. Just short of the 45 of the Cardinals.
Doug Cosby went in there, the big tight end, at 6'6", and went in and trap blocked the nose tackle, believe it or not, and gave him a good belt, but the play still broke to the outside. Cosby, you know, he isn't as dominating in the passing game this year, having only caught 14 balls to date, whereas last year on the season he caught 64. And, you know, we're almost halfway through the season. And he's the kind of guy, hey, Tom, captain in college, captain in pro football. Must be a real solid leading type person.
And that Chandler, that backup rookie, is a great-looking tight end prospect, too. Second down and 5. A deep team. Playing a team that's 1-6 but dangerous. A fake reverse, and now the screen outside here. This is Levette. The rambling wreck gets almost to the 35-yard line. Leonard Smith making another tackle. A little bit of Dallas trickery.
Let's take a look at Danny White, the quarterback, right here. Now follow him as he goes ahead and executes a beautiful fake. Note what he does with the ball here now. Now watch him right here. Now watch him reach, hand fake, holds the ball right there in his belly button. Now takes it out, lays off the screen, gets a good block out there from Posderic. He gets underneath Levette, number 29, makes people miss. Nice play. Good design, good faking. Old-fashioned faking.
And he faked to Herschel Walker. Another first down. 1st and 10. Just short of that 35-yard line. Great drop back. Going for it all. Wide open receiver and it's touchdown. Mark Sherrard ran right by the defender for a 36-yard touchdown reception from Danny White. Why the Cowboys are averaging 27 points a game on offense. They got a lot of people that can do it. Number 1 will tack on the extra point. He told me the other day, this is when you have to concentrate. If you take extra points for granted, you can miss them.
I know it, but believe it or not, Tom, people do miss extra points in National Football League.
Valor, the other quarterback, is the holder.
There have been 22 of them missed in the league this year.
This one is tall and talented.
Oh, yes, is he gifted. Here we go, Danny White, middle of your screen, good pass, coming straight back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He sets up, turns to his left. He knows where he's going with the ball all the way. Gets up here. Now watch Wayne Smith, number 44, got beat badly. He moves inside for the catch. Touchdown.
The Cowboys with a back attack that inspires. The Giants with a defense that dazzles and revenge on their mind. A classic in the making next Sunday on CBS Sports.
6 of 9 for the man from Arizona State. 118 yards. The touchdown pass you just saw. That's his 11th TD pass of the year. As we said, he missed 3 games. Only 5 interceptions. A very good year for Danny White. Septian's kickoff. At the 4-yard line, Sikahima, the young man from BYU, has a lot of running room. Now he's finally corralled at the 27. Diassi in on that tackle, and Albritton.
Taking a look at this touchdown pass, follow the wide receiver, Michael Sherrod, as he comes on, he works outside, and he gets down, and he separates downfield from the defender. Now watch him as he comes off. Now that's Wayne Smith, moves up now, he's inside out on him, covering lines. Freeze it right there, freeze it. Right here, he made a drastic mistake. He looked back at the quarterback, and you can't look back and run fast straight forward. Good separation made by Sherrod. Touchdown.
You can't trust a quarterback. I try to tell all these young guys that.
He took a peek. You know you can't take a peek.
Sure. 1st and 10. The ball's on the 28. Lomax, though, is not to be snuffed away. Here's a blitz, and Lomax goes down at the 20-yard line. Gene Lockhart, the hitting machine.
Mr. Lockhart, he likes to get after quarterbacks. Here he is. He's going to come after you. No one would like this kind of a guy coming after you. Number 56. Here he comes. Nice cross starts. He got held up. That left guard should reach over there and pick him up. He did not get it done. Sack.
29th sack for this Dallas team. They may break their old record, you know it.
Gene Chilton, the left guard, playing in there as a backup guard, starting in there right now. Should have slid over there and picked up that stunt time.
2nd down and 17. The Dallas defense playing hard. The quick draw. And back at the 25-yard line, he's hauled down. Randy White just jumped on Farrell's back.
I'll tell you something now. It's almost unfair. Gene Chilton, number 58, a rookie, a number 3 pick, first center picked in the draft on Randy White. Really, I don't think he expected to be playing in there because Derek Kennard started at left guard, Tom, but Randy White really gave him a shot that time.
Well, the scary thing is that White gets better as the game goes on. By the 4th quarter, you feel like you've been in a heavyweight boxing match.
I'll tell you something. That Gene Chilton right now thinks he was. He took one right across the old chops.
3rd and 13. Neil Lomax does not throw many interceptions, but he's got to be careful. Good play. Roy Green has it at the 31-yard line, and 3 Cowboys ate him up. Far short of a first down.
We are talking about Randy White's right here, number 54. Now, all of a sudden, he's going to draw a crowd. Now, 2 people are going to block him. See, they're going to work in there. They're not going to let. Here's Chilton, number 58, getting help from 64, Randy Clark. A lot easier that way, Tom.
And Ed Jones was coming down the middle of that thing, too. They got some people that can destroy him. Cater now. This will be his 3rd punt. Gordon Banks is waiting. Banks is waiting back on the Dallas 25. This is just a fair kick. It's going to slide. And it takes a Dallas run out of bounds on the 39. Looked like it might have hit a Cowboy and skidded out. 13-3 Dallas. 6:39 left before halftime. Tom Brookshire at Dick Vermeila, Texas Stadium, and they've been waving around this sold-out crowd. And the Dallas cheerleaders pepped up, and the 2 teams down below very, very serious. Danny White, the last time the Cowboys touched the ball, they went 73 yards in 7 plays. The final 36, a pass to Sherrard by this man. Pretty good numbers. And the Cardinals aren't backing off yet. Close set offense behind Danny White. Newsom gets outside. And now lowers his head and picks up enough yardage to get to the 45. Dennis Thurman, the former Cowboy safety man, making that tackle. Looks funny in that red 32, doesn't he?
The mobility of Herschel Walker. Watch him hit right in here like this, and all of a sudden, he's outside. Tom, he's not supposed to have that kind of mobility. Here he goes. He's going to do a good counter dive. Now watch him. He just bounces out along the line of scrimmage, and here he goes. Well, that's Newsom. That's not Herschel. Excuse me.
Well, he's a good ball carrier, too, though. A smart move for the fullback to bounce out there. They expect him to duck inside.
Yeah, I thought it was Herschel. They both so darn big.
Give him 5 yards. 2nd down and 5. Walker's gone in motion. A lot of time for Danny White. Herschel Walker bolts to the 45. He was a great high school track athlete. I'm talking about Herschel Walker in Georgia. He ran the 100-yard dash in high school at 9-1. Then he won the 200-meter. Then he anchored the medley relay, the sprint medley, and then he threw the shot, and I think he high jumped. Other than that, he had a pretty off day.
Coming from a family of 7 children, you learn to move quickly just to get to the dinner table, get your share.
Good hands, that's right. 1st and 10. Walker has 3 catches for 30 yards. That's early. That's Renfro in motion. Great handoff. Herschel Walker gets a quick block on the outside. Newsom sprung the very fast running back with a real good block on the outside.
They keep switching those backs around in the backfield. You really have to stay on top of it, Tom. This time, Walker was at the fullback position. You're going to see a block right. Now watch 53, Freddie Joe Nunn, the linebacker. Follow him. Now here comes a block. Boom, chop block, cut him down. Therefore, he's outside and running. Now a running back, or rather a defensive back, has to come up and tackle that big guy. Lionel Washington, number 48, gets him out of bounds.
A 13-yard dash by Herschel Walker. 1st and 10 now. Another good drive, and Dallas very methodical looking because Danny White is really taking his time. Straight back. Oh, he's got some time. Overthrowing Renfro in the end zone, closely covered by a couple of Cardinals. Thurman being one of those. I think Young, probably Lonnie Young coming over from the other side. Total offense, Dallas with a large edge. But it's 13-3, 2nd down and 10.
See that deep look in Danny's eyes? When we were coaching against Danny, we used to tell our defense guys, get Danny's look even deeper than that. Get him staring at you. Once you got him staring, maybe you can shake him up enough you can break his confidence, and we might find a way to beat this guy.
Was he good against you, though, when you were the Eagle coach?
Always good.
2nd down and 10 on the 32. Walker hit back at the 35. Good rush by Bubba Baker. When number 60 wants to come through the inside and make the real big play, he is hard to block.
Yeah, he's quite a talker, too. I was in the locker room with him. He can lay some words on you. Believe me, he can. I don't know if he's auditioning for my job or what, Tom, but I'll tell you, he can lay some words on you. And he's a good football player, too.
Well, he was one of the great, the Silver Rush boys when he was with Detroit before he came down to St. Louis. But at Colorado State, he was an All-American. He's a great talent.
He had 23 sacks his rookie year. And that was 1978. So you know he can put the quarterback down. But he is a character to visit with.
Third down and a dozen for the Cowboys. White throwing quickly and wide open is Tony Hill. The flag is thrown. May have been grabbing the receiver. Tony Hill looks like he was spun around. Let's see what Wyatt has to say about it. Defensive holding.
I think it was Lionel Washington, number 48, that grabbed him.
Tony Hill's been around 10 years, but he has a lot of enthusiasm this year.
Number 48, first down.
I've seen Lionel Washington play in this stadium so well that he would never have to hold anybody. Now, Gene Stallings a little upset. And it wasn't, when you lose, and especially your first year as a head coach, you hate the officials. In each game, remember talking to him the other day? Hey, those guys are conspiring against me. You get that feeling, as a coach.
You said it was the same things you said your first year with the Eagles, trying to get a program turned around, huh?
No question about it.
Gene Stallings, a solid rock of a man. He worked under Bear Bryant and Tom Landry. That's not a bad legacy to come from. First and 10. Automatic first down on that defensive hold. Danny White, slowly just looking around. Gosh, he's got a lot of time. Now he dumps it off to Cosby. Flags are down, but Cosby's inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. The flags are down again. Defensive pushing.
Stallings is really going to get upset now. No, in that first year when you're struggling, you're trying to get your program going and things go against you, they magnify in your mind.
Decline, first down.
They'll take the 15-yard pass play to Cosby. Go ahead, Dick. What were you saying about the first year?
You do. You're struggling like mad as a coach to get your football team going, and every little thing adds up to get you beat, and you just get so frustrated and so mad and so intense in everything you do that when an official makes a call, you're just sure that they're conspiring against you. And actually penalties have very little to do with the outcome of a football game.
Well, sometimes they do, but you learn to sort of live with them, I guess, don't you? First and 10.
No, you don't. You don't.
White is 8 of 12, and he's going back to throw his 13th. And he misses Cosby and takes a shot. I think Galloway got a late hit, not a late hit, but a hit on the quarterback just as he released it.
That's what you call a no-back attack. Galloway is really probably their most consistent defensive lineman right now. He's doing a good job. 22 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. He's doing a good job. They like the way he plays, and I think he puts this guy in the category, he's one of my kind of players in the new program.
You know how effective this offense is inside the 20. Look at this. 25 of 28 times, 19 touchdowns, 6 field goals coming into today, and the other 3 were interceptions. That's efficient. Second down and 10. Just inside the 15 of St. Louis. White's changing. Too much time. Danny White's going to be mad at himself.
He ran out of that, Tommy. He ran out of time. Actually, he had Doug Cosby in the backfield, lined up as a halfback, and was trying to get him to go in motion, and he waited a little too long to get going in motion. Here comes Herschel back. He's a good guy to send in when you're inside the 20. That raises your odds of scoring, too.
How about when Dorsett can't play for you, one of the great runners, and the substitute happens to be a fellow named Herschel Walker? That's a little bit of depth, the skill position.
I never experienced that problem. I did in college. Not in pro football.
Second down and 15 facing Dallas. They're on the 19 now. May not help you. 3:32 before halftime. The quick draw to Herschel Walker. And he breaks tackles. He's going to score. The linebacker had 34, and then he didn't have 34.
This is a little inside trap, Tom. Number 34 to the left of your screen. See, now center blocked off Rafferty. There's the trap block now. He's up inside. Look at his shoulder pads down. Boom, he runs out and tackle of Nico Noga, number 57. He's upfield there. 55, Anthony Bell chasing him. No way. Touchdown. What a horse.
The same thing with Jimmy Brown. At that big and everything, you don't believe that they're that fast. And he is not only strong, but he is extremely fast. Malloy's hole is down. The extra point is good.
You know, I was not surprised by Landry's call down in there. When you have coached against this guy as many years as I have, you can almost anticipate some of the things in the way they think down there. They like to come with a trap plate down there because they know the defensive linemen are going to be fired up and really trying to get you, throw you for the loss, so they may not be reading the run quite as well. It was a great call by Tom Landry.
That's why he's so comfortable. 8 plays to go 61 yards, and the last one was one of the quickest draws I've ever seen for 19 yards.
Let's take another look, Tom. Right to the middle of your screen on the hash mark, Herschel Walker. Now watch the offensive center right over the ball. As the ball is snapped, he's going to block off one way. There's the block. The guard pulls over. There's so much penetration. Titans, sir, didn't have to block anybody. Poor tackling right there. Anthony Bell tries to catch him from behind. Cannot do it.
But you disregard the fact that he is 220 some odd pounds, and he's still one of the fastest players that's ever played this game. I don't know if it's bad tackling or tremendous running. Septian will kick off. There are the numbers I just told you on that scoring drive. And boy, this Cowboy team can run some points up in a hurry. They had, what, 30 points in 5 of their games so far this year?
Right, Tom, and at 9 is the season record. If they keep going, they're going to break the record easily. And they're averaging up there about 2.5 points more right now, this time of year, than they were last year at this same time. Averaging 27 points now, last year 24.7. So they're more efficient offensively.
And this is the halfway mark. Remember that. Should the Cowboys win this, end up 6-2 at halfway, they would go to the whip with a healthy Dorsett, because Tony is going to be okay the rest of the year, and he and Herschel Walker in the same backfield makes my skin crawl.
Makes you what?
It scares me to death as an old defensive person. My leg aches. Sikahema, the young BYU running back, will get a shot. Septian's field goal at the yard deep, and here he comes. Sikahema out over the 20 to the 22-yard line. Bates made the tackle. Don't forget, next Sunday here on CBS, you know the rivalry, don't you? These Cowboys go to the Meadowlands to play the New York Giants. And Sims and company, and they've got a good team. And you know how Tom Landry likes to win against the Giants, his old team. With Herschel Walker now, he might, but look out. Who's going to block Lawrence Taylor? Giants, Cowboys, right here on CBS next Sunday. Tony Dorsett, he's averaged 103 yards rushing in this league for 10 years. And the only time he's really been hurt is this year. Isn't that interesting? They get Herschel Walker. Lomax back on first down. Open receiver and just misses the fullback coming out, Earl Farrell.
Good coverage by Mike Hagman because he had him all by himself. Right now you can see Neil Lomax, he's reading the signal being signaled from the sideline. Many times quarterbacks, as the signal is made, he repeats it orally to himself, and I think that's what he was doing at that time. You could see his mouth moving with the signal.
In 83 throws this year, he has, the last 83, no interceptions. He's been very, very careful. He's 3 of 12 today, but no interceptions. That's very important. Second down and 10. Fumble. Farrell fumbles the ball, and I believe the Cowboys have it on the bottom. Too tall Jones.
Just a direct handoff. Quarterback reverse pivots, gets it back to him deep. The linebacker attacks the play. He's in there right now. You saw the ball pop to the right corner of your screen. There it is on the ground. And Too Tall went fishing. He's got it.
The one department that Tom Landry's not happy with the defense is that they just haven't had many turnovers so far this year.
They haven't turned the ball. You know, last year, in terms of pass interceptions, Tom, at this time they had 18. Right now they only have 6.
They're liable to get those in bunches. They're after that fumble today. And Lomax is being careful. First and 10 for White and the Dallas offense. On the St. Louis 25. Reverse play to Cosby. Cosby inside the 20-yard line. The big fella dives almost out of the stadium.
the real clever maneuver here by the offensive right guard. A little different move. Watch the big offensive right guard as he pulls one way and then reverses on around to help the tight end come around on the reverse. Clever little technique. See the guard little spin around technique? That's not easy to do for a 290-pounder. Oh, there he gets the chop.
That's Crawford Kerr.
That's Crawford
Big
Kerr.
Daddy Kerr, they call him.
293 going on 305, I think.
Second down and less than 1 for a first down. Inside goes Herschel Walker. He is close to getting that first down. Hit hard there by Klosby and Noga. Last 3 times that Dallas has touched the football, they started on their own 34, they got a field goal. On 27, they got a touchdown. On 39, touchdown.
Tom, it doesn't surprise me because actually Dallas has been scoring a touchdown every 20 plays in the league, which is second best in the NFL, and the average is 31 plays. So you can see how efficient they have been. Now, St. Louis has just got to tighten up. That's all there is to it.
First and 10. They better tighten up now. It is 20-3. A John Lee field goal. The only marker for the Cardinals. Great drop back. A lot of time. The 2-minute warning as the Cowboys driving for another one. It's 20-3. With the 2-minute warning coming on there. That's 2 touchdowns and 2 Septian field goals. St. Louis with the John Lee field goal. That's all, a 3-pointer. Timeouts remaining. St. Louis 3, Dallas 3. Rather academic, but you know the Cardinals spotted the Redskins 28 points and came back and almost won it. The last play of the game, they were down on the 11-yard line and lose it by 28-21.
They have been a much better second-half offensive football team than they have been in the first half, Tom, and that we may see that happen in the second half.
First down passing, 4 of 6 for a 16-yard average. Right frequency, huh? Second down and 6. A lot of time. Boy, no pass rush on Danny White. Herschel Walker is separated from the ball at the 9-yard line by Lionel Washington. What a good defensive play by the corner.
It was a nice job by Lionel. I saw him play a super game here in 1984. He just dominated the play at that left corner position, and that was typical of the kind of play I saw him make many times in the ball game that day. You can see him right here. Now here comes the throw right at you. You're going to make the catch. No, you're not. Here comes that defensive back driving, and you notice how he put that right hand right out across in front and hit the ball as well as making the tackle at the same time.
When you tackle one of the greats in the game like Washington just did, though, you remember that forever. He took the ball right out of Herschel's lap. Good play. Third down and 6 facing Dallas. Now Danny White complains that he can't see, or he's going to call a timeout, is he?
He was running out of time. He couldn't get the play off, Tom, so he had to. And he was complaining. I think he felt that they started the clock too soon on him.
Running out of time. That's what Vince Lombardi always said. Remember that? The late Packer coach? He never lost a game. He just ran out of time. Scores elsewhere. New Orleans playing the Jets tough today. 28-23. Jim Mora doing a good job. Here, though, we've had a tremendous offensive performance by Danny White and the Dallas Cowboys. They've just sort of taken this first half and not allowed St. Louis to put the ball in play very many times.
Very meticulous. Just boom, boom, boom. And then the one big play and the one error by 44 Wayne Smith when he was covered man-to-man. He has him covered, and then he looks back to the quarterback he's doing, and you know what he was doing? He was throwing the ball to the guy who was covered. And then Sherrod separated, he goes in for the touchdown.
You know, you and Stallings had something in common when you said that if you don't have the greatest practice facilities and things, like maybe St. Louis is not quite in that category yet, when you're going down to play the rich guys, you can almost get your team up into a ladder, can't you, by saying, wait till you see the way they live down in Texas. Huh?
We used to always try to build the hate factor in regard to Dallas because they were so good and so well organized from Tex Schramm and Gil Brandt and those people that it's easy to motivate your football team. Here we are, just street fight guys with our blue collars on, no ties and holes in our socks. We're going down and play these rich guys, you know. We choose that approach. And actually, it doesn't take long till you do learn to hate them, you know. But no longer now. I love them. I love them.
Third down at 6. I won't give you a lie detector test on that one. You coaches never forget. Danny White starts the motion. And he has time to throw the screen to Herschel Walker. The flags are down. Herschel Walker gets to the 5-yard line, but the flag is thrown on the 18-yard line of St. Louis. Bubba Baker making a pretty good tackle. Holding Cowboys. In a moment, we will emphasize the perpetrator.
The only guy that could really hold in a screenplay going that way would have to be Fosderick, number 75, because the other people were coming out in the screen. Let's see who it is.
Holding, number 75, third down.
He's the only guy there who could do it.
Fosderick, the tallest player this side of Ralph Sampson.
Tallest guy in the NFL. There he is in the middle of your screen. Now you'll see him sitting there in the middle, number 75. He's got his arms reached out there. The guy goes underneath him now. See, Clasby goes underneath and he reaches. Look, he's got him hooked right there. He pulls him down. Hey, all's fair in love and war. Get him down.
He and Clasby, of course, played together at Notre Dame, right? They know each other too well, maybe. Third down and 16.
Work against each other all day long, for spring ball and the season.
Almost a little more room for a pass offense to operate in. White going for the corner. That's Tony Hill. Hill, the slant out, a 20-yard touchdown reception for number 80.
Super execution, Tom, of quarterback, wide receiver, timing. Actually, Washington did a pretty nice job of physically covering Tony Hill, but the ball was put where he couldn't get to it, but the receiver could.
And no pressure on Danny White. He has so much time now, he could almost get his nails done before he throws it. Septian on the field. Holds it. Boy, is he striking that ball.
Here's Danny White, going to go straight back. See the rush starting to develop. Good spin techniques going on inside. He has all the time he needs. Now the ball's going to be going to the left corner of your screen. And there he just broke for the flag at the last second. Touchdown.
Tony Hill makes another great catch. 27-3.
Tony Hill does a super job of working down in and then bringing the defender Washington to the inside and then breaks at the last second for the flag. Watch how he does this. Now, here he is. To see him work inside, gives him a little stick right there, gets him to freeze, comes back for the flag, and the ball's right where it had to be. Pretty darn good execution.
Third touchdown reception of the year for number 80. Looks like he's getting new life. Sikahima, the rookie, out over the 25. To the 28, a good run back by the young Cardinal. Bill Bates collared him there. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, Brent and Irv will be joined by Hank Stram. Henry's back in the studio in New York. They'll get you up to date with all the scores and highlights from around the league. That's coming up at halftime. Brent and Irv and Henry Stram.
There's Tony Hill. There's a great team. Now, Danny White throws a touchdown, one pass every 11th completion. And old Tony Hill catches one in his career. Believe this or not, Tom, once every, let's see if I can find it on my card as I look, once every 9th catch. Can you believe that?
51 touchdown receptions in his career here in Dallas for Tony Hill. Out of Stanford. Lomax on 1st and 10. Ed Jones spiked another pass. He gets a little penetration and then cuts off the whole field of vision.
He's already spiked 58 of those in his career. That's his 59th. And very few defensive linemen even come close to spiking as many balls as he does. He's just so tall. If he gets with his power rush, he's not going to beat you with a speed rush. But if he gets upfield 2 or 3 yards and then raises both hands, you just can't get over him.
And he's playing a little bit lighter this year, because of the age, and he's playing what he thinks to be as quick as ever. Dallas with 240 yards total. St. Louis only 65. Roy Green makes a diving grab at the 36. Jesse Penn in there standing over him. Now the hurry up by St. Louis. They trail 27-3. Boy, a touchdown now would send the Cardinals into the locker room with renewed vigor. First down reception just at the 40-yard line by Farrell. Lomax bringing him out quickly now. Is in there, and the 4-man rush comes. But it doesn't get to Lomax, and Lomax gets another completion as Farrell tries to get out of bounds, but is held in.
Lomax is doing a nice job. See, Dallas is just sagging back as any team would at this time, playing the zone, forcing you to throw in front. But pretty quick, if he's going to get something in terms of field goal position or touchdown, he's got to let the ball go downfield.
Don't forget, here on CBS next week, nobody's going to forget this. We're not. Starts with the NFL today, and then Dallas plays the Giants. Let's face it, that has always been a titanic struggle, and this year it might mean the whole thing. You know, should the Giants beat Washington on Monday night and Dallas win this game, there'd be 3 of them tied at the top of the NFC East. This is all next week. What do you think about this ball game next week, Dick?
Well, you know, the Giants are so tough on defense. I mean, and they're almost impossible to run on. They're giving up about 50 to 60 yards. I don't know what the exact yardage is. They're so tough. They force you to throw.
Have they seen Herschel? Have they really seen the Herschel Walker yet that we're now seeing?
To me, Herschel looks better than we saw him in the second game of the season. He's not I don't think he's selling out speed-wise real early. I think he's retaining a little quickness, getting a little wider base when he runs and getting ready to dart one direction or the other, and then once he sees it, then he's turning it around.
He had a good Monday night game against the Giants that first game, but now it's making sense. It's not just raw talent. It's a tremendous offense around number 34, too. 2 timeouts left for St. Louis. Oh, you're taking those into the dressing room. They don't go to the bank. Lomax finds the receiver, and it's knocked down, almost intercepted by Jesse Penn.
Look at him. Jesse doesn't like that one. Shotgun formation, long snap back. He's getting back there now. Jesse Penn, linebackers to the left corner of your screen. He's just sitting there playing zone. Look at him. He had a chance to take that one. If he'd have caught that one, look at him. He's going down. Oh, my gosh. My chance to be a hero, get on TV, score, touchdown.
He's always around the ball. If you fumble the football, Jesse Penn will get it, even if it's in the dressing room. 3rd down, 3. Lomax dancing. Now goes to the screen to Stump Mitchell. Stump, with some good running room, gets out of bounds and is hit, but I don't believe late, by Johnny Holloway. Stump Mitchell is a good all-around football player. He thinks the game and plays it right to the max.
I tell you, this guy, he's the only 1,000-yard rusher last year to average over 5 yards a carry. He only carried the ball to make 1,000 yards last year, 183 times, and that's good production.
He had like 50-something yards last week against the Redskins. He's got 3 injuries. Most guys would be in the training room. Number 30 shows up, I'll tell you.
I had a good visit with him the other day, and he's talking about now he's a starter. Everyone's teasing him about being a big money guy.
1st and 10 now. Looked like the left tackle might have jumped. Jeff Coat was coming on, and let's see if Louis Sharp made a quick move.
False start, number 58.
That's Chilton, who has Randy White breathing right down his shoulder pads.
There's old Stumper. No, we were sitting in the locker room, we were talking. I said, now that you have a big contract and you're a starter and Anderson's gone and hey, everyone knows who you are, have you changed your lifestyle? He says, Coach, I still drive an old Bronco.
You mean a car, about a horse, right?
Yeah. Oh, I thought he'd say, hey, I got a nice new Mercedes, where the top goes down with a button push and all that kind of stuff. No, not the Stumper.
1st and 15. Good protection this time. Oh, Farrell stepped over a tackler and has a 1st down at the 31-yard line. That's a pretty good move by the fullback. A hurry up now. A 16-yard game. 21 seconds left. Another timeout now is used as Lomax comes over, shaking his head.
Mr. Lomax. He has been in this situation many times in his career, and I've seen him operate really efficiently, and sometimes I've seen him operate too good against my football team. You think you got him down, you're going to go in half, and you're comfortable. You're just about, ready to relax for a second and head for the sideline, and he puts points on the board.
He's got a strained Achilles tendon that he had to leave the Washington game last week in the last series, but he shows up and plays, and now that he's got Roy Green back, Tilly, the great little possession receiver, has had a bad back on an operation, may never play again, and Roy Green is just now playing for really the first time this year, so Lomax now has a few tools back.
Yes, he does have the few tools, and I think he's just getting used to the new offense. And new offense affects the quarterback more than any other player. It really does, because there's more things to think about, new reading mechanics, and it is a lot tougher. But I'll tell you, if they could get 3 points to 6, 7 points on the board right here, they could come out and make a run at it in the second half.
J.T. Smith has been carrying the load all by himself, and now Roy Green, who you just saw, will help the young Cardinal team get back on the board if they can. Here they've got the one field goal by Lee. It's 1st and 10 on the 31. Lomax, he's got time. He's going up the sideline for it. And knocked away at the last minute from Troy Johnson by Manny Hendricks, the young man from Utah.
And he's a basketball player. Did he do a nice job on that? One-on-one coverage, and he's used to doing this on the basketball floor. Not a college football player trying to make another Cornell Green out of number 45. The ball's thrown right where it had to be. He saw the receiver look back, therefore he looked back. But you don't look back unless the receiver looks back. Good secondary play by Manny Hendricks.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Shotgun every time now. Find out where Roy Green is. He's in the slot to the bottom of your screen. He's going back to the top side again. And this time, almost a juggling attempt on the outside by Troy Johnson, the young spreader. Boy, Lomax wanted that one badly.
He said it was close last time. I'm going after you again, young man. Here's Manny Hendricks. You don't have enough experience. I'm going after you. Almost. Troy Johnson just joined the Cardinals recently, a free agent. Number 87 does a nice job of almost hanging on that one.
Troy has the great sprinter speed, though. He ran a 6'1", 60 meters when he was in college.
I had Troy Johnson's brother at Philadelphia. Troy Johnson, number 87. His brother was Mel Johnson, played for me, and passed away.
On the operating table, huh? 3rd down and 10. The blitz is on, but he gets it off. Lomax gets it to Roy Green, and Green tries to get out of bounds, but cannot. Walls keeps Roy Green in bounds. On a 1st down, they're out of first half timeouts. The sticks will move.
They got to kick the field goal now.
Good play by Lomax, who read the blitz. Bates and a bunch of thugs were coming after him that time.
He got rid of it. But again, that's the advantage of the shotgun. Really, and I fought going to the shotgun as a coach. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Dallas does it and all that kind of stuff. Pretty quick, I started coaching it, persuaded by the coaching staff, and I really gained an appreciation for its value.
The young man from Seoul, Korea will try a 36-yard field goal. He had one mishandled and smothered. He's made one. Austin is holding. Is it? It is. Good drive. And the points were tacked up. And after 30 minutes, it's 27-6, Dallas.
Now, welcome back to New York. I'm Brent Musburger with Hank Stram and Irv Cross. First, the baseball story. I'm sure you've heard Game 7 of the World Series rained out tonight. It has been raining hard in the New York area all day long. The Jets and the Saints battled it out in a downpour. Then it was the commissioner, Peter Uberoth, who made a trip over to Shea Stadium, and that's within the hour, and he made the announcement that the game had been postponed.
We've had 3 different weather reports. Plus the umpires concur, and so that's the decision. It's Game 7 tickets are obviously still good for everyone tomorrow. 8:10 start time. Thank you.
You're going up against Monday Night Football tomorrow. Any thoughts about that?
That's correct.
Commissioner, how do you...
So the big shootout, folks, is not the Mets against the Red Sox. It's the Mets and the Red Sox against the Giants and the Redskins. What about that confrontation, Hank? Who's going to win the battle of the rating war?
Oh, I think I'm going to pick Newhart.
You... CBS will love you for that. They'll extend your contract. Let's take everybody to the scoreboard, get them up to date on what's going on. The Chicago Bears bounce back with a win, 13-7 over the Detroit Lions. Look who's listening. The quarterback, for a change, is listening to the head coach. And watch Wilbur Marshall. He storms in on Eric Hipple, forces the turnover, scoops it up, and dashes on in for the touchdown. What kind of a day did Walter Payton have in Soldier Field? It was tough going against Detroit. Traditionally, they've been able to shut down Sweetness. They held him to less than 70 yards this afternoon with defensive play like that. Then the Lions closed to within 3 for Coach Darryl Rogers, and it was this young man getting around the corner to the right side, Scott Williams. But the Bears came back, kicked a field goal, and closed it out, and now the Bears are 7-1 on the season. How about the Cleveland Browns going into Minnesota and shocking the Vikings 23-20? Hey, Hank, they have to change punters up there. Coleman is hurt, and look what happens to the young man.
Yeah, that's really a surprise as they would try to do something like that when they know the guy hasn't punted before.
And Felix Wright goes on in for the touchdown. Irv, you know, Curtis Dickey's still got some running left for this team.
You're darn right. And people forget that he has tremendous speed. Here he powers off his left guard and sprints in for a 17-yard touchdown. Bud Grant looks on.
But he had to be furious with this play. He was a master of the special teams. After that touchdown, it is fumbled. Browns pounce on it. And watch here as Matt Barr kicks what turned out to be the game winner. But Irv, one gasp left for the Vikings.
They're still in it. But Chuck Nelson misses from 45 yards out, and the Vikings go down.
Now, meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers come on in Milwaukee against Green Bay. They were down by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. Bad dog showing up at the game. Randy Wright here to Mark Lewis. This is a sensational catch by the tight end as he concentrates on the ball at the back of the end zone and brings it down. Hank, what about Ronnie Lott as a defensive back for the 49ers?
Well, he was open all afternoon.
Never more so than
That's right.
there.
That's right. You got to pick out the open receiver, and that's exactly what they did.
Hey, watch Forrest Gregg on this. Look at it. Oh, yeah,
Well,
he's happy.
He's looking for the gas pipe there.
He's about to be a little less happy. What about this one? Where'd this guy come from, Irv?
Well, Dory Nixon, of course, is acquired from the Washington Redskins by the 49ers. He picks this one off and goes 88 yards for a touchdown. And Bill Walsh told his defense going into this game, we need a big effort from you guys to win it, and they came up with it.
Gas pipe. You think this guy ever took the gas pipe?
He's been there before.
Niners 5-2-1 on the season. All right, the Jets go to 7-1. Not even in the days of Joe Namath have they posted 6 victories in a row, but they had to hold on. The Saints came out after, and this was the combination. Kenny O'Brien to Al Toon, 6 times for 101 yards and 3 TDs, Hank.
That's a good way to hold on, Brent. That's a good way to hold on. Throw it to him and let him run.
Just get it out in the end
That's
zone.
right. Change the scoreboard.
All right, New England giving chase on the Jets. I don't know if there's enough time to haul them down. 23-3. And Irv, I'll tell you, the Patriot defense did a number on the Bill quarterbacks in this game this afternoon.
Here, he puts the ball up here. Kelly puts it up, and the ball is picked off by Johnny Rimbert. And he rambles upfield until he finds that he gets into a jam here and laterals the ball to Andre Tippett. And, of course, Tippett just took the rest of the way down to the 27-yard line looking for somebody to hit.
Hank, you'd have made a fullback out of Tippett.
Yeah, I'd have put some low cuts on him in a hurry and let him play fullback. Right.
He's a tough kid, and I think he was a wrestler, too, in college, as I recall. He's a real good linebacker. Miami and Indianapolis, and the Dolphins beat the Colts. The Colts, the only team in the league now, 0-8. Marino was 22 of 32 for 240 yards and 1 touchdown. How about the Los Angeles Raiders? 28-17 over the Houston Oilers. After losing 3 in a row, they have now won 5 in a row. And please figure out the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll bring in Hank Stram as the analyst on this one. 39. What's going on with these guys?
Well, they're, needless to say, they're very unpredictable. And
thanks for that insight.
Yeah, but I think that any time that Chuck Noll is going to be on the sideline, you're going to win some games that nobody thinks you're going to win.
You thought it was going to be easy up here. All right, Kansas City today, without Stram as the coach, they win 27-20. They go 5-3. Irv, how about this running back?
Jeff Smith takes the pitch and goes over his left hand and rambles 32 yards for the touchdown.
And the Bucs slip to 1-7. Philadelphia and San Diego. The Chargers now in deep trouble. They're 1-7 on the season. The Eagles go to 3-5, 23-7. The final score of that. And the NFL today continues on CBS right after these messages from your local stations. Into the third quarter, they go in Anaheim with the Rams ahead of the Falcons 14-0 in that game. And Irvin, we take a look at the highlights for John Robinson. It was the defense that got him on the board first.
They've been playing well all year, Brent. Here, the Falcons put the ball in the air. Archer doesn't see Mark Giroux picks it off and rambles in for a touchdown, 22 yards out.
Dan Henning's team under fire in the Southland. Steve Dill's going to Michael Young. And watch what happens in this sequence. Just as it appears that he's going to score, he coughs it up, and it is recovered by Mike Pitts. Ball comes out to the 20. Hey, Hank, the Rams used a play that I know they've been thinking of.
This option play, yes, they've been rehearsing this for 3 years.
We finally see it in
right.
a game. Dickerson puts it up to David Hill. Rushing, Dickerson has carried 16 times for 80 yards on the afternoon. And Irvin, that big one in the AFC, Seattle and Denver. It is 13-3. The Broncos with the lead. The Seahawks again having difficulty running on grass. Hank, what is it about some teams that they can't play that well on grass and play good on carpets?
I think it's kind of a mental thing with a lot of teams. They talk about it so much, and then they go and play on it, and they never play well. I don't know why a lot of teams talk about it as much as they do and create a problem for their team, because it really turns out to be a problem when they play.
Yeah, well, the St. Louis Cardinals are proving to be no problem for the Dallas Cowboys. Those of you who are watching that game know that it is 27-6 right now. And let's go back and hear Tom Brookshire and Dick Vermeil. Brookie, take it away.
All right, Brent, thank you very much. Back at Texas Stadium, they're having an old-timers touch game on the field. We'll try to show you a couple of things when we get a chance to. Tom Brookshire with Dick Vermeil. Dick, the Cowboys scored first, the Cardinals scored last, but in between was a heck of a lot of Dallas offense, huh?
They were moving the ball well. The big play, of course, Herschel Walker made a real nice 19-yard right up the inside. Nice little trap play. Dallas likes to run these trap plays inside the 20-yard line. He sets right there, draw a trap, guard pulls across, traps it, opens the hole. Now he just runs over people right there. You can Nico Noga, he runs over the top of him. Hey, into the end zone he goes.
And 19 yards is covered so quickly when Herschel is doing it, you know. And we said that the Cardinals can come back, and they have shown it that this year, even though they're a young team under Stallings the first season. What do they really have to do quickly and briefly here to get back into this thing?
Well, it's obvious they're not going to spend much time running the football.
No.
They're going to have to come out and throw the ball efficiently. The 3 touchdowns out of the football game. They have last week they got 3 touchdowns in the second half. They can do it. It's tougher against Dallas. Dallas has the ability to let up. They've done this in the past. If they do it, the Cardinals will come back.
They may need a couple of turnovers, the Cardinals do, to get back into it, huh? Come on back, stay with us, will you? We'll show you a little bit of this all-star touch game. It's rather interesting. We'll be right back.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. Chrysler Plymouth, we're working together to be the best. And by Ramada, where business travelers always get the all-star treatment.
63,000, and all of us are watching a touchdown. Roger Staubach play an all-star team. Look at here, Dyron Talbot. That's the first time they've ever met when Talbot didn't foul him.
That's Lance Rensel, number 19.
Lance Rensel.
Yeah.
Billy Kilmer, old whiskey face himself, threw a big pass earlier in this game to Donnie. Here he is being introduced, and Kilmer darn near didn't make the introduction, the former Redskin.
He darn near didn't get out. What's that he wearing around his that blue strap? That's his tag.
Something to check his blood pressure with. You can see the people here. Newhouse and a lot of people. Charlie Waters, Cliff Harris. Here's a touchdown. This is probably the best spiral that Kilmer's ever thrown to Anderson, to Norm Boulage, formerly of the Colts and the Eagles. And
look at the goal lines.
Well, they run right into the cheerleaders to finally score. That's probably the toughest one Boo ever had there. Billy Kilmer, we were talking with him yesterday out at the Dallas practice session. You know, he liked young Steve Pallure. He thought he handled himself very well when Danny White was hurt.
Hey, everybody likes Steve Pallure around here. Coach Landry says to me yesterday about him, he says, you know, he has great instincts for the quarterback position. He does a lot of things that you don't have to coach a guy to do. It's just part of his personality and makeup.
And Kilmer said, you know what he liked? That he was tough. That in the Denver game when the Cowboys absolutely looked awful and a lot of people weren't playing, Danny White, Randy White, and all those people, Dorsett, that he still stayed tall and was very tough. He didn't let guys rough him up and sort of took control. This young man's going to be a very good quarterback. First half possessions, and this is one that, if you're the opposing coach, you know it spells trouble. Field goal, fumble, the only thing that was the blemish, that was the Danny White fumble. Field goal, TD, TD, TD. And, of course, that spells 27-6. It's one of the best offensive halves of football I've seen Dallas play in some time.
Well, it's a lot better than we saw them play in the, the second game of the season against Detroit. They're operating, they're more used to now the newer type offense that they are running under the quarterback coach, Paul Hackett from the 49ers, who's coordinating the passing game. This is why you see Tom Landry in your screen wearing a headset, little microphone right there. Normally he didn't have one on, but now he does because he communicates with Paul Hackett in the press box.
You know, I should have asked Coach Landry yesterday, and I've known him for 30 years, I guess, but I should have asked him if Alicia does lay out his clothes and all, the way most wives do for their husbands when they go on television like this, but I didn't get a chance to ask him. Look at all those, he's having trouble with that microphone clip there, like the rest of us.
He's always been one of the sharp dressers in this league, though.
All right, Lee will kick off. Stallings is in no mood for jokes. First-year Blues, 1-16, but I'll tell you one thing, they've battled everybody close. The Giants only beat them 13-6. Don't forget that. Clack and Levette back for Dallas, and Lee will kick it from the 35. Levette at the 7. Gets away from the tackler and dives to the 28. No flags down. Game has been relatively free of things. Rushing 44 yards for St. Louis, 79 for Dallas, 61 to 79. Valor comes on now for two reasons. One, to get him more experience and to allow Danny White to even heal further.
Right. Well, Danny has that strain and that ankle problem too a little bit from last week's ball game, isn't it, Tom?
Valor, of course, did all the quarterbacking against the Eagles last week, except he got hurt on a scramble. The last play was handled by Danny White before the field goal. This is Herschel Walker. Herschel to the 30. Remember, Tony Dorsett has not played. He is suited up. But he got together, and Landry and everybody thought, look, we might as well get this premier running back, the one we've leaned on so long, get him healthy so he isn't in and out of the pain quotient thing. I think it's a good idea.
He'll be fresh for the Giants.
Walker has 67 yards on 15 carries. Second down, 8. Valor throws and Newsom gets a good block from Cosby downfield and gets to the 44-yard line. Let's go to New York for Brett Musburger.
Well, Brookie, we've got contact out in Anaheim. The Atlanta Falcons have just jumped back. Steve Dills to Michael Young. Young coughs it up. James Britt scoops up the fumble and dashes in for Atlanta. And the Falcons have closed to within 7 of the Rams. Stay tuned for more on that one. 14-7, back to Brookie.
All right, Brent. Boy, we know those teams pretty well. We've done Atlanta a couple of times. Did their game when they beat the Rams earlier. Good football around this league this year. First and 10, toss back to Herschel Walker.
Again, a super block, Tom, by the fullback, Tim Newsom. He actually knocked the outside linebacker, Freddie Joe Nunn, right down to the ground. Take a look at this ground level. I toss, you'll see 53. Freddie Joe Nunn standing up, working inside out. Now approaching him, number 30 goes down, chops him down. Nice knockdown block. He did that consistently to the Eagle linebackers last week, too.
Yep.
That's why he won the game ball last week.
And you know, he's like a guard that can catch. He's a good receiver, too, when you have to throw the ball to Newsom, you know?
And he came into the game only 4 yards away from a career 1,000 yards.
Second down, 3. Good block, good run, of course, by Walker. Herschel Walker weaving, gets through. Some people say he can't avoid contact. He made a little dipsy-do there to get almost to the 40 of St. Louis.
Tom, it appears to me, as I said earlier in the broadcast, he is running, holding back just a little bit more. So he can make those kind of moves and make people miss. Did you notice that time?
Yeah.
He didn't have his motor running full speed. He was looking for his place, and then he saw it, boom, he took it.
Remember when we were talking to the Dallas players, I think it was Walls told us that one day they put him out as a flanker doing a drill, and he tried to come up and chuck him, and Herschel ran right by him.
And over the top of it.
Yeah, right by him. First down and 10. Another drive. This time it's Pelor, Steve Pelor, from the northwest part of this country. Uh-oh, missed handoff. Pelor takes it, gets a little bit of it back, but maintains possession.
That's what's tough. Sometimes you come in off the bench, you haven't played at all in the first half, and you're the quarterback, and you haven't handed the ball off for an hour of the first half of the ball game. Now you come in and you have to hand it off, and it looks like there was a miscue right there between Newsom. He hit him all right with the ball maybe a little bit high in the chest, and down it goes on the ground.
Dallas always has a quarterback problem, but that's not the case. A little cut there on Danny White's chin. He's the quarterback. Remember when they didn't know whether Roger was going to beat out Craig Morton? And
almost before my time, Tom.
And Hogaboo? That was within your time.
Yes, that was.
Second down, 14. Cardinal gets back. No flags will drop. Now at the screen, out in the Newsom with the screen reception. Tackled at the 37-yard line by Closby.
David Galloway. Tommy, David Galloway really hustled it on. He's the nose guard. He works upfield, rushing the passer. The screen pass is thrown. Then he gets involved in the tackle downfield. I can see why Coach Gene Stallings says this is one of his kind of guys. He gives everything he's got.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Danny White's all right, by the way. Gene Stallings is a good friend of Danny's, but I don't think he's really worried about Danny White's chin right now. He coached here for 14 years. 3rd down and 7. From the shotgun, Pelluer inside handoff. Herschel Walker behind. While Crawford Kerr, still on his feet, took him right to the sideline, just short of the 30-yard line. Dennis Thurman tried to get under Kerr and make the tackle, but it was tough. Flag is down on the far side of the field. Offsides against St. Louis, the preliminary call by Wyant. There's been no need for instant replay evaluation. Cosby, the captain that Dick Vermeil was talking about, decides to...
Offside, number 60, 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Getting his signals from the sideline. Nope, here they're sending substitutes in.
It will bring up 3rd down and 1, of course, once the man moving the marker there does.
Going to short yardage personnel.
St. Louis, with 13 rushes, has 44 yards. Herschel Walker has 82 yards and a 4.8 average.
That's about where he's running for the year right now. He has 4.8, Tom. So he's right at his average.
Got to be careful with him because, like you said earlier, he can break one for a long way in a hurry. 3rd and short yardage inside. Cosby comes back from the outside and gets a block, and Newsom bucks ahead for the 1st down inside the 30.
Follow Doug Cosby, the 6'6" tight end, number 84, as he goes in short motion. Now he's going to come in and try to trap block from the outside in. Here he goes. They got him propped up. He goes in on the nose guard, and the running back actually runs. Newsom runs behind the block rather than in front of it.
Wrong side of the hole, but he got the first, huh?
He got it.
1st down and 10. Pelluer took over in the 2nd half to rest Danny White. It was very, very good in the 1st half. Pelluer puts it away after making the pass, being chased by a covey of Cardinals and finally knocked out late.
And out of bounds.
It'll be an unsportsmanlike call as the cornerback came up. No, make that the corner linebacker, Charlie Baker.
Yeah. I think Baker just forgot where he was on the field when he approached the quarterback inside out. He just lost where he was.
Remember, he is a ball carrier once he runs out to the left side like that, but you can't hit him out on that white carpet around the field.
Personal foul, number 52, 1st down.
Here he is moving in the middle of your screen, carrying the ball like a loaf of bread. Now he's going out of bounds. He's coming off the block. He's clearly out of bounds right there. You can't hit him there, and Charlie knows that. I think he just lost the feel for where he was on the field.
Well, he had to look down to see that. He's probably so busy trying to get rid of that blocker.
Yeah.
And I imagine he's a little frustrated, you know?
No, but that's dumb football. You can get frustrated, but you can't hit a guy out of bounds.
1st and 10 on the 11. A 1st down without a touchdown these Cowboys can get. Lewis got him going inside. Walker, not much. Ran into a stone wall at the 8. Thurman and Noga. Is Herschel Walker better than you thought he was going to be in the NFL?
Yes, he is, clearly. In fact, he's better than Tom Landry thought he was going to be, too.
How about that when he said, I had no idea he was that complete a player.
Yeah.
Great pass receiver.
It sounds like we're doing a Herschel Walker show here today, but he has been the show.
What he does, he gets. 2nd down and 7 here. Remember, they can get a first without a touch. Walker's in motion. Pelluer out in the flat. Misses Newsom. There is a flag down, however, as Cosby ran Pelluer out, and they're going to get him for roughing the passer.
These penalties are marking, again, the frustration of getting beat, having only one win in your record. You start getting after it.
Oh. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 79, 1st down.
That's Cosby.
Bob Cosby. Here he is, number 79, on the left side of your screen, working on Posteric Number 75, he gives him a little shove there. The ball's clearly gone. He goes ahead and buries his helmet into him and hits him.
Pallure must think he has a target on his chest. He's been in for this part of the third quarter, and they've already gotten him twice. First and goal on the 4-yard line. Automatic first down on that. 27-6. Of course it's frustrating when you're playing your hearts out and losing. It's a good football team, boy. Cowboys are tough. Walker. Hey. Kerr and the offensive line did some job.
Just a plain old-fashioned short yardage sweep. 84, Cosby going in motion away from the play to draw the defense. 55 now. Anthony Bell attacking right there. Gets blocked. Almost tackled by Crawford Kerr with the speed of this man, number 34, Herschel Walker. Touchdown. Bring up the scoreboard.
A lot of different ways. Wonder how rich Herschel Walker really is. The extra point attempt. Septian, the hold by Pallure. 10 plays to go 72 yards. 27-6. Make that 34-6. Just a few minutes, we'll be switching many of you to Anaheim, California, where the Atlanta Falcons are battling the Los Angeles Rams right now in the third quarter. It's 14-7 Los Angeles. Here in Dallas, it's 34-6, and Pallure dials 800 to find out what's going on. He came in the third period, and the Cardinals went after him like he was a T-bone steak. Two unsportsmanlike conducts in the one drive that he took the Dallas team in on. Raphael Septien. Sikahima, the young man from BYU, waits back at the Cardinal goal line. Johnson. Roy Johnson gets out over the 26-yard line.
You know, Tom, most people don't realize how tough it is to take over a losing franchise and get them going. You know, since 1970, there have been 93 new head coaches, excluding this year, take over an NFL franchise. 70 of them took over a losing franchise. Only 7 of them won their first year. It is tough to do it.
And he's a people person. He told me the other day, Friday, that bringing his son Mark down here, an exceptional young person with him, was one of the great thrills of his life. He's quite a man, Gene Stallman.
Yeah, he'll turn him around.
First and 10, Lomax. Dancing has some time. Gets it to the tight end, Doug Marsh, short of a first down at about the 35. Now the Cowboys will play pass and more pass.
They'll get out of the flex defense, I think, Tom, a little bit on those first downs. They'll get in the good wait-forward defensive dances and come after the quarterback.
This is when you go for bonuses. This is when you go for your sack bonuses and your interception bonuses. And Lomax has to throw. Less than 9 minutes in this third period left. The straight drive to Stump Mitchell. Stump is to the 39-yard line coming out.
You keep running up inside there, you come out looking like a stump, too, I'll tell you, against the Cowboys.
First game he ever started, it was in place of Anderson, and I said, well, this guy is no O.J. Anderson. You know, one of those great comments. He had 132 yards rushing against you.
Yeah, nice guy to bring that up. I tell you, as a head football coach coaching against the Cardinals, I feared and respected him as much as I did Otis Anderson.
Good point. First and 10. The pickup by the Cardinals. They need a lot of points. Lomax finding some time now, dancing in that pocket. Now he knows he's got to get out. Ed Jones is chasing him. He's run out of bounds finally by Mike Hegman. And Randy White was right behind Ed Jones.
Well, he wanted to go deep, and it was covered. And, you know, Neal is not 100% healthy. You know, his ankle's a little bit sore, and he had a strained Achilles, and he is not 100%. But I'll tell you this, he was enthused about coming down here and playing this week.
Especially since Roy Green was coming down with him, huh?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there were other people. Jim Schaffner, the quarterback coach, he was excited about coming down here, too, because he had coached here, along with Gene Stallings for the Cowboys.
Remember, this man has been very careful. It's very hard to intercept Lomax. Second down and 21. Hit hard at the 25-yard line by Brooks, the #1 draft of a couple of years ago out of Michigan.
Mr. Brooks, 99, playing in there at the defensive right end spot, I think, Tom, coming from right over here, has been injured. He's just been activated. Had 2 sacks last year. Here he is working on Luis Sharp, number 67. He's doing a good job right now. It's really a coverage sack. There's no one to throw to, and he just falls back to the inside. That's tough. Now, if they credit the sack on the offensive tackle, that's a tough one to accept.
Third down and 23. Lomax back, trying to get a little better look in that shotgun. Finds the receiver. He's got it. That's Farrell. Farrell, boy, stays on his feet. Gets almost to the 35. Strong football player, number 31. Schmerich and Jesse Penn collaborating there.
He has a degree in physical education, and that's why I think he plays so physical. He really does. He takes you on down the middle. When you come to tackle him, he butts you and runs over there. He catches the ball as a receiver. He runs over the top of the defender. He does what you ask him to do.
You know how Stallings feels. He wants hitters first. This is Cater punting for St. Louis. Unable to control the tempo. That's really been the Cardinals' problem. Taken by Banks. Banks gets tackled immediately, but Cowboys have the ball again. 34-6. Cowboys are riding hard and fast. We now take many of you to New York, where Brent Musburger will set the scene for the Falcon-Ram game. Those of you leaving us will be kept up to date on the score of this game. First and 10. Dallas with the football. Valora back to throw. And hits Cosby with it and off his hands. Catchable.
You can see that Dallas is not concerned about eating up the clock, Tom. They come right out on first down, leading like they are, 34-6. You might think that Landry on the other side would say, well, Gene, I've coached, you've coached for me for 14 years, and I'll just back off a little bit on my signal calling. But you can see no friends once the ball's kicked.
What's he have, 6 former assistants that are now head coaches? I'm speaking
somewhere around the league. Yes, sir.
Second down and 10. Walker, by the way, has 88 yards rushing. Valora back to throw. Goes a real strike to Cosby. Cosby to the 40. He is big, strong, physical receiver. When you're up 34-6, you help the tacklers up.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the linebackers really collapsed nicely on that one. I mean, he caught the ball, but boy, he was being pounded from each side immediately.
This defense has battled away in there. You can see average per pass attempt. Dallas with that 10.3, St. Louis 4.1. The Cardinals haven't put the ball in play very much today. Third down and 4 for the shotgun. Valora. First down.
Now there's a penalty. That one came out of the sky from somewhere. There it is.
About the 46-yard line is where the ball is. A little holding defensively.
Holding, number 45, refused. First down.
That's Leonard Smith.
Leonard Smith, number 45. But you say, how can I hold? I've got tape on my hands.
Well, sometimes if a receiver is trying to run something short and then go deep, you just grab him anyway and you'll take the holding. You know, it's better than giving up a touchdown. And nobody can teach secondary play better than the head coach for the Cardinals, Gene Stallings. Newsom jumps over people, flags are thrown into that offensive line.
Boy, I'll tell you, David Galloway, St. Louis Cardinal nose tackle, he went after that. I mean, on the snap of that ball, he was taking everybody he could, centers, guards, and heading into their backfield. He was really getting after it.
Newsom's a little better running back than I thought. Here's Wyatt.
Holding, number 64, first down.
Tom Rafferty, number 64. I would hold, too, the way David Galloway took off on that snap. You have to grab something, Tom.
Well, Rafferty's been in 174 straight games for the Dallas Cowboys. The Penn Stater, number 64, who was called for that. That's a lot of football games in a row, you know?
Oh, it is. He started 141 of 142 of the last games he played in.
First down and 20. Valor trying to keep the concentration on this Dallas offense. Underthrown but caught short of the 50-yard line by Sherrard.
Here he is, Michael Sherrard, number 86, coming off the ball, the left side of your screen, working in the strong zone defense. There, now watch him plant, now work right around that 50-yard number. There he is, boom, goes down low, takes his pads to the turf. Doesn't just reach down with his hands, he brings his shoulder pads with him. Now you can see that he got a lot of time. Now Galloway's getting blocked by two people, Crawford, Kerr, and Radford. He came so hard that last night, we're going to put two guys on him.
Second down and 7. Valor got some of it back. Going for it all. And just barely. Mike Sherrard down at the 7-yard line.
I wonder if Tony Hill likes all these deep balls being thrown to Mike Sherrard. His average is 22.3, where Tony Hill has always been their long ball home run hitter, and his average is 16.5 per completion. Sometimes the veterans don't like that too much, Tom.
Well, the greatest receiver they ever had here, Drew Pearson, was not a home run guy, but he caught a lot of touchdown passes all the time.
Yeah.
You know? Sherrard, though, does have speed, doesn't he? And great athletic ability.
He goes from a walk-on at UCLA to a first-round draft choice. That's pretty hard to do.
Boy, it's good for the bank account, too. Third down and 7, just short of midfield. 4:40 left in the third period. Valor wants to go deep. Now he wants to scramble. And now he's going to get out of bounds inside the 40. Take that, all you scrambling quarterbacks.
Now, take a look at Mr. Valor right there. Mobility in the quarterback becoming more important in the National Football League. He gets out of his own problem. Now follow him. He'll come appear back to your screen. Now he bounces to the outside. Here he is now a running back. He has no intent to throw the football. Mobility. Sacks are down in the league right now, 13% over last year. That's one of the reasons. Quarterbacks are doing a better job of avoiding the rush.
First down and 10. Dallas has got 100 yet today. Personal Washington. Close to the 30-yard line of St. Louis. Washington making another tackle. Or the secondary for St. Louis has made most of the tackles.
They've been making too many of them. Too many of them. And, you know, that's not what they're paid to do. Second paid to hit, first paid to cover. And right now, they're having to make too many tackles. And I've seen Lionel Washington make some darn good tackles.
Walker is just about to go over 100 yards rushing. And other than Tony Dorsett, only a few years ago, a fellow named Robert Newhouse, who played in that alumni game, have ever had a 100 yards rushing in a game for Dallas. Herschel hit 98 and not holding. Call it 100. He squiggles to the 25.
It's amazing what a 100-yard rushing stat does for your offense and the success of your football team. If you have a running back this year in your backfield that runs for 100 yards or more, it's happened 32 times this year, Tom. They've won 26 of those games.
You get one back to get 100 yards, huh?
Or more. So far this year, it's holding up.
It was
looks
always
like it's going to hold up today.
It was always so indicative of Tony Dorsett getting 100 yards. Now they have a two-spoke attack. Huh?
That's right.
Second down, 6. Walker's at 102 yards. He didn't add to it. Galloway was all over Herschel Walker.
Seems to me that St. Louis might consider, Tom, some red dogs for the linebackers designed to get after the running game, not so much for the passing game, but to get after and get him into that second and long on first down. And after that first down, throw him for the loss.
Stallings very unhappy with the ball control that these Cowboys have thrown at his team today. 5 of 8 on third down conversions, third down and 5. Of course, Ballure is the hungry quarterback. A knuckler, but it's caught by Sherrard. He gets to almost the 15-yard line. Is Herschel Walker the best fifth-round draft choice you can remember? Wilbert Montgomery was only a sixth round for you, right?
I know it, but this Herschel Walker, the way they got him, of course, if he had been in the NFL draft, he'd have been the first player picked.
Well, but I mean, it was pretty smart of Dallas to figure that the USFL was going to go down the tubes.
They've always done those things.
Yeah, I know.
That's why they're consistently winning. You've got to give credit to Gil Brandt and Tex Ram and their organization for that kind of thinking.
Starbuck was a 10th rounder, I think. He was in the Navy, for God's sake. First and 10. Back to Herschel Walker. Fumbles it. Back at the 25. Bubba Baker and company holding down.
Just a toss. Back set to the screen's left. Going to reverse pivot. Just flip it back there. It looks like to Newsom actually looked like he didn't know who was supposed to get the football, Tom. It hit him in the shoulder pads rather than correct running back.
Second down, 19. Boy, what a weekend down here in Texas. Sunny and great. Second down, 19. The screen setting up. St. Louis has it red. Ballure's going to have to handle it. Knocked out of bounds at the 36.5-yard line. Noga escorted the quarterback out of there.
You know, it was really clever on this experienced nose guard play. David Galloway sitting right here. He ends up picking up the screen man, and actually Plure had no one to throw. See number 65, he's working it now. He runs into the screen back. He sends a screen. He says, you aren't going to throw the ball this guy. I'm going to hold on to him. I'm going to pull him down for a 3-point takedown right there. Now Noga has to come up and force him out of bounds. Clever nose guard play.
The Dallas bench was up in arms over that. Galloway did the right thing, however.
Give a guy an even break once in a while, right?
Third down and 31. Ballure's got the Cowboys heading south. Stacked to the bottom of the screen, and he goes back topside to Herschel Walker. Inside the 30. Carter making the tackle there. And in comes Raphael Septien to try his field goal.
So it'd be about a 45, 46-yarder.
It's been absolutely dead solid perfect so far. 44 and 43 today. Noga's a little bit shaken up, the linebacker. Number 57. He's battling.
Boy, he has battled. He's a competitor. He played for Dick Tomey at the University of Hawaii, as we said earlier. He has two brothers playing over there right now. Younger guys that are playing.
We're in the islands?
Yeah, he's one of 9 children. He's in pain. Maybe he has a pinched nerve, Tom. I don't know.
Well, you can't play linebacker, no pain.
Well, when you wear these neck harnesses, see that right underneath the helmet, that white pad, many times it's an indication that you've had some neck-pinching problems. And, boy, that really, it jars you when you get that nerve tingle goes down your back, and sometimes it goes down into your leg. If that's what it was.
I'm sorry that we will never probably see Pat Tilley play again. He was a great little receiver for this team, you know?
Don't count him out.
Well, I don't.
He's a tough son of a gun.
All right, Septien's only miss of the year was a 42-yarder against St. Louis in that first game. This will be from 47. Remember, Blure's the holder.
He's not the most efficient from this distance, Tom. This is not where he is really great.
The Cowboys with a back attack that inspires. The Giants with a defense that dazzles and revenge on their mind. A classic in the making next Sunday on CBS Sports.
This one stat haunts me. Dallas has been over 30 points for the 6th time this year. That is an offensive machine about to get purring and into second gear, I'm afraid.
And, you know, and Tom Landry's teams have always come on strong in the second half of a season, which we're going to approach next week.
37 yards, 14 plays, and number 1 nailed it. Here's his kickoff. He's a strong guy for a rather small athlete. This is Johnson at the 3. He's a sprinter. Don't let him get out. And he's knocked down by Bill Bates from behind. Here on CBS next week, all starts with the NFL today. Dallas against the Giants at the Meadowlands.
Boy, I'd like to do that one, wouldn't you? Huh? That's going to be a helmet buster.
They'll be after Sims and company, and I'll tell you, Danny White won't rest. Some of you will say Philadelphia against St. Louis, and
that'll be a good game.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen a Buddy Ryan game, you should see one of those. Cardinals at home, Minnesota against Washington, and the Vikings are taking no prisoners.
Right into the shotgun, Tom.
All here on CBS. First and 10. Lomax. Oh, just off the hands. Might have been touched by somebody. Smith couldn't quite hold on to it. A little bit of a problem around the pass protection as Dutton threatens some offensive player. Time of possession sometimes means something, sometimes it doesn't.
That does, I'll guarantee it, Tom.
Indicative, huh?
9 minutes more. Hey, you can't do anything if you don't have the ball.
It's not that Lomax and them have been so ineffective, it's just they haven't been able to get their hands on the ball all enough to do anything.
And when they've had it, they haven't done a real good job of it.
Lomax, 11 of 25 for 103 yards. Quick out the screen, Stumpf. Stumpf Mitchell has flags fall, gets over to the 37-yard line. Peg leg Bates, number 40, is back in there after sitting out a game or two.
I wouldn't doubt they got Gene Chilton 58. It was out on the screen for holding out on this movement block. I'm not too sure.
Looked like it was down in front of the ball carrier, whatever happened. Pushing by the Cardinals. Obviously, Lomax is going to argue. I'd like to see Lomax get irritated.
Pass interference, number 87. Second down.
87. It is young Troy Johnson.
What happens when you're throwing a screen downfield, you see Troy Johnson in the middle of your screen, and he's blocking downfield, pushing, trying to work through the guy right there, and the screen hadn't been thrown yet, so you can't do that. After the screen had been caught, you could go ahead and do that. But hey, that's inexperience. He's just eager. This guy wants to play so well. He'd like to dedicate his career as a football room.
And earlier we talked to Troy Johnson and what his brother meant to him.
I'd like to dedicate this season to my brother, and hopefully I can just grow and to a good receiver and just blossom into one of the best. And, you know, I can look back on it and officially say that my brother really did play this part in my life to get me here where I'm at now.
I like that. Good young man. Sad story, but he's a very fine young person. Second down and 20. Lomax still trying to get the wheels on it. Good sidearm throw. Farrell has it down the sideline. Strong running, gets the first down, gets out to the 35-yard line. Fellows forcing him out.
You know, Troy Johnson's brother, Melvin Johnson, played for me, Tom, and this was what we were talking about. And then he didn't make the team, and he went to Kansas City. He broke his wrist, and then when they operated on his wrist, something screwy went wrong, and he lost his life. A freak thing in the medical world.
From Southern University. Third down and 3.
Oh, that's all fouled up.
Lomax is calling, saying that Dallas is the one that was moving early and made contact.
I think Dallas had an extra man on the field, too.
May have caught him trying to get the six-pack on, the extra defensive back.
John Dutton.
Number 61, third down.
John Dutton was running parallel to the line of scrimmage. Must have gotten out of bounds just in time because they didn't call it on him.
Lance Smith detected.
I'd never seen a defensive tackle go in motion. Tootie Robbins should be starting to play here pretty quick. You know, the contract holdout, the fine offensive big right tackle for the Cardinals over the last few years, he should be about ready to make a comeback here.
Working his way into shape. Third down and 8. Oh, Dallas is pinning back the ears and going for a quarterback. Lomax, he has time. Good blocking. Oh, good. Roy Green makes a very, very good catch, but Walls was right on his numbers.
Michaels Walls was tracking him down. And, you know, Everson Walls, rather. You know, Everson does not have a pass interception this year.
Illegal procedure, St. Louis. We didn't get a number.
Illegal motion, number 67, decline, 4th down.
That's Louis Sharp.
Louis Sharp. I talked with him the other day. There's Tootie. I talked with Luis the other day. In fact, I talked to this guy, too. He's big enough to eat hay, that guy. He has a chest. When he inhales, it's unbelievable how big he is. Look at that. Look at the arms, Tom. They're bigger than my legs.
Flags are down, of course. Cater will come in, probably have to punt. That's what's going to happen.
I think next year, if he shows up on time to practice, he'll probably end up being the starter.
Cater really hasn't been the most active punter. The offense hasn't just moved very much all day for St. Louis. This is a
Nice
tremendous punt. And all the people that made Texas football so much fun. 14-17 left in this 4th quarter. Tell you one thing, Dallas is a team to think about.
They're much better than the first time we saw them, Tom.
1st and 10 on the 25. Pelura has gone all the way in the second half. Hand off to somebody we don't even have to mention anymore. You know who he is. That's Herschel Walker.
I'm surprised they haven't taken him out of the ball game. You know, they have other guys that can run. Robert Levette's not too bad. You know, he had a good preseason. In fact, he made the longest run in the preseason this year was Robert Levette.
Can you imagine putting 34 on one side, 33 on the other, and putting one of them in motion? You get what you pay for. That's
I think
for
that
sure.
adds up to 67, doesn't it? Points.
Oh, but you meant millions. 2nd down, 4.
And I tell you, you know,
Couple of yards, but not easy ones. What does St. Louis have to do to right the ship?
well, you know, there's 8.
Not necessarily today.
There's 8 starters that are not playing that played last year on a losing football team. So, you know, you've got to get better personnel. There's no question about that. That's the number one reason you usually lose. You know, the one thing I didn't care for, really, is I'm not a big guy for working on AstroTurf, especially on Fridays. I really think by the end of the week, your legs are dead working on AstroTurf. So I think eventually they'll probably build a real good training facility with a natural turf.
The Cardinals work out, of course, at Busch Stadium, the baseball park in St. Louis, and that's AstroTurf. Straight ahead. Newsom gets what might be a 1st down, or let's see if, no, they may have stopped him short of that. Philadelphia won big over San Diego, the next opponent that will come into St. Louis next week. This is the first punt for Saxon, the young kicker for the Cowboys. He probably thought he'd never get in this game.
He leads the NFL in punting balls inside the 20-yard line with 17, but he isn't going to get it inside the 20 from this distance.
Better not, it'll be his own 20.
I wonder if he donates his check to charity this week when he does, you know, he only has to kick once, huh?
Sekahima, the young, prolific punt returner, is back on the Cardinal 20-yard line. Here's Saxon's first punt. And it is going to be returnable. It's low. Oh, Sekahima lets it bounce. He's still going to return. That's a 20. To the 32. Good return. Tackled by Bates. 37-6. Heisman and Maxwell Trophy hopeful Vinny Testaverde and the number 1 ranked Miami Hurricanes host Florida State. And then the Los Angeles Lakers and the Houston Rockets. A rematch, that's right. The season premiere of NBA on CBS. Ralph Sampson, Jabbar, and all those great Lakers. That's going to be a great way to start the NBA season here on CBS. 1st and 10. Lomax, little bobble now, gets his hands on it. Trying for, no, number 84 on the sideline, J.T. Smith. He's played hurt, too, and all the other receivers were down.
He's been their plus so far, his emergence. You know, and he was a pretty good player at Kansas City. They signed him as a free agent in '85 at St. Louis, but he also was a great punt returner. He played in the Pro Bowl in 1981, so he's had some good years.
I think he's the 3rd highest punt returner of all time.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's really got, but they won't let him do it because he was the only receiver Lomax had to throw to. 2nd down and 10. You're looking at Lomax trying to position young people and get him out there, right out to Farrell. Farrell has it to 35. You're not going to hand tackle him. Farrell to the 37. Jesse Penn finally makes the stop.
Did you see Don Smerick, number 60, come in there and give him a shot, and I think he's lined up right here. Follow him, fans, as he gets after a quarterback. Man, he butts the guard right there, slaps him, beats him to the inside. Now watch where he goes. Oh, right up underneath the chin. Oh, that hurts.
Third down and 3. Lomax getting a lot of time now, dumps it. Trying to get it to stump Mitchell, I think. The late rush came with Smerrick again.
Smerrick's getting after Gene Shilton over there just a little bit, number 58.
The only time I'd like to see Lomax maybe take his helmet off and punt it or something after an unsuccessful thing, just to show me a little emotion. Because I think he's a very talented quarterback, you know. Cater into punt for St. Louis.
He probably feels it, Tom. He's
Sure
just not going to show it.
Show it. They're not going to fine him for that. Here's a punt. Boy, this is a big kick. Cater punt. He drives Banks back to the 11-yard line, and then Banks is taken back to the 8. Good coverage by St. Louis. No return. 37. A 15-yarder. Pallure to Chandler. Newsom hit behind the line of scrimmage. Good defensive charge there. Made him run a little bit deeper. Charlie Baker finally got the tackle. Down the road for Dallas. Of course, next week, the one that we're all wanting to see at the Meadowlands, the Giants, the Raiders. Wow. San Diego.
We'll know how good they are about 5 weeks down the road. There's only one loser in that group, and that's San Diego.
Washington and Seattle. Remember, this team is already 4-0 in the NFC East.
Right.
Dallas
could make a difference when it comes down to the final decision in the NFC East, no question.
The inscrutable one, Tom Landry. Second down, call it 11. Pallure, a little bit low, but caught just shy of the 40-yard line by Sherrard.
Sherrard's got quite a few balls today, hasn't he?
They're calling it no catch.
Fullback motion. Timmy Newsom working to the right of your screen. Here he goes, in motion. Strong zone defense. Nope, not a strong zone. Man-to-man. Here he goes, in the hole. My gosh, that looked good. Landry was a little upset. That away, Tom. Get after him. That's Coach Al Levan, the running back coach to the left. Yeah, now they reversed it. Thought they might. It did look good.
See that gauze and all, the bandage on Danny White's chin? He played the first half. Extremely in control, too. I thought Danny White had really a good first half. He's talking to Pallure.
He wanted to play, and talking with him yesterday, he says, Coach, I hope I play. You know, I really want to. I'm ready. It's just whether if the boss makes that decision, but I'm ready to go.
You know, Tom Landry one time in the early 60s had 3 quarterbacks. On every play, he'd put in a different quarterback. Meredith LeBaron and Jerry Rome. It was called quarterback roulette. If you were lucky, you got a third down call and got the pass. Sherrard has 5 catches for 111 yards. First and 10. Newsom bounces out. Fumbles the football, and it's Dallas ball at the 44-yard line. Last person to have control was Newsom.
Fullback right in the middle of your screen. Going to start. See, now watch him start over to the right. Now he's going to make a nice cutback. He bounces inside. Now watch him ricochet. Out he comes. Now he's got the ball. He switches it to his left hand. See, and he has it out away from his body, and when you do that, you're in trouble. I don't believe a running back should ever switch the ball. I think once you've got it in your best carrying hand, keep it there. Now, I know a lot of coaches don't agree with me on that, but I've seen them fumble too many times when they switch it around.
Second down at 5. High formation behind Pallure. Almost a missed snap.
It was, Tom.
And now Pallure is being dumped and hit hard by Bubba Baker at the 46-yard line.
I think that was an early snap. I don't think he anticipated getting the ball when he got it. Oh, hey, what I got? I didn't say give it to me yet.
Remember the awful preseason that Dallas had this year? The last time they had a losing preseason was 1975, and Landry's team won 5 of the last 6 games that year.
Went on the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 10.
Beat Denver?
Lost to Pittsburgh.
Oh, lost to Pittsburgh.
But it
That's
got,
right.
you know, they just turned it around.
Yeah.
And I remember in preseason, this team looked like one of the second division teams around football. Not now.
Not now.
Third down 3. That's the view that Dallas coach has of his team.
And you can see nothing from down there, Tom. Boy,
You guys see everything.
no,
Third down
you
and
don't.
3.
You see so much more up here. In fact, you even know more when you're up here, Tom. You're much smarter up here.
A lot easier
A lot
on you.
easier.
First down catch. Banks, good receiver.
He's a
lot of
Stanford
depth.
guy.
A lot of depth on this Dallas team.
He's a Stanford guy. Tony Hill's a Stanford graduate. So is Gordon Banks. Got here by way of being a free agent. New Orleans originally in 1980.
Keep in mind that on Monday night, the Giants and the Redskins play.
Giants and the Redskins Monday night. Mm-hmm.
And this team has already beaten the Redskins, already beaten the Giants. They've already beaten the Eagles, and they may have the Cardinals whipped twice.
Rams hung on to win it.
Big win. That was a must. Johnny Robinson's team. Toss. Herschel Walker just sort of gliding along to the St. Louis 42.
Just the old eye toss play. Nothing very complicated, nor sophisticated. You see that running about every college football game.
He came into Philadelphia once, received the Maxwell Award, you know, when he was in Georgia. I don't know if I've ever met a nicer young person in college. Really.
Did you see what happened to me yesterday? I was walking in the locker room there,
Yes.
and Walker comes around the corner. He bumps right into me and says, "Geez, I didn't hurt you, did I?"
And he laughed about it. He's got such a sense of humor for a fellow that could be spoiled. He isn't. Levette is now in, the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech. We'll give you the numbers on Walker in just a moment. Newsom, hit hard but gets to the 35.
A little check down to Timmy Newsom.
Walker's biggest day, 119 yards on 26 carries for Herschel Walker and 2 touchdowns.
He'll have many more. As long as he stays healthy, he'll have many more, especially in this organization. But, I mean, he is here and not in some other organization in the National Football League because management had the foresight to make that kind of decision. You know, everybody else had a 5th-round pick that year.
I was afraid he'd end up as a croupier down at one of those casinos that Trump owns.
A croupier?
That's the guy that rakes in all the money.
Yeah, I can handle that.
Got out of the contract, came to Dallas, and got here just in the nick of time. First and 10. Handoff to Levette. Spinning to the 33-yard line. 5 minutes on the clock. Cowboys content now to just eat it up. And think about the NFC.
Nate Newton's coming into the game, the big 300-pound offensive guard, number 67. He is a giant. They call him the kitchen. Chicago has the, the refridge. This guy's the kitchen. Look at him. He's 2 axe handles across, didn't he?
Yeah, Randy White coming down the aisle. He took up the whole aisleway out there at the training camp.
They think he's going to be a great player one day.
Well, he is strong. Second down, 8 below with a lot of time. In and out of Chandler's hands at the 30-yard line.
Let's see what Newton did that last play. He hadn't done anything this ballgame. Just getting in. Here he is to the right side of your screen. Number 67. There he is. There he is. Oh, that boy, Nate. Give him a shot. Baker's still working. Al Baker's still hustling to get to that quarterback. Good job, Al. Look at the size of that guy.
Bubba Baker's only about 275. You know, he's given up about 30 pounds. Can you imagine that?
That's right. His brother is Timmy Newton, the big 300-pound nose tackle at Minnesota.
The guy they call the Fig, right?
No, they call him the Ice.
Oh, that's right. I thought it was Fig Newton. Third down and 8. Valor being chased out of the pocket. I think he likes it. He gets down at the 26 after a scramble. It'll be close to a first down. Pretty good-looking runner. And he's bigger, of course, than he appears.
You know what he appears to have is a good feel for where the rush is around him. You notice he never looks panicked when the people around him. He just sort of ducks out. He comes out smoothly, not shaking all over the place, and out he goes.
The Rams, 14-7 over Atlanta. Rams, Eric Dickerson with 170 yards on 29 carries. His lifetime average, Dickerson's, is 126 yards average per game that he's been in this league.
You got that head of yours really going today, Tom. Huh?
Well,
you got a computer going there for you.
My major, was mathematics.
Yeah. Was it really?
Science. And Tom Landry. We asked Sully, was there a difference between the two?
Well, Coach Rice he was a people person. He believed that you won games with people playing well, making football plays. We respected him to the point that we didn't want to disappoint him. Everybody that either played for Coach Rice or worked for Coach Rice, we wanted him to say something good about our contribution at the game. Coach Landry, on the other hand, he's extremely smart. I mean, every play is designed with a purpose. The plan is awfully important. You've got to execute the plan in order to be successful. Very seldom is his X's and O's ever wrong.
Pretty tough homecoming for the former assistant coach under Tom Landry.
And I think some of Gene Stallings' X's and O's will start winning for him somewhere down the road, too. You watch.
Solid citizen. 422 total yards for this Cowboy offense. It's 4th down and 2, and they're going for it. Short yardage handoff. Prevent breaks inside the 25. Boy, that was close to breaking for a touchdown.
He made it, though. I think he got the first down.
He almost broke that very thin line that a short yardage defense gives you.
If you pop it, you have a good one.
For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, it'll be shown in its entirety from the conclusion of this football game, except on the West Coast, where it'll be seen in its entirety at its normal time. 60 minutes coming up next. First down by just inches.
They took Newton out.
The house, they moved the house. 1st and 10. Drive straight, Levette, good spin, good tackle, though, put on him at the 24.5. Stafford Mays.
That was a nice play. Stafford Mays had been starting, and then they moved Bob Closby in his place, but Stafford was doing a good job. He has been used in the past more as a pass-rushing type defensive end, I think, Tom.
Did you get the feeling that Stallings would like to have a 4-3 possibility if he had a couple of more big linemen?
He prefers the 4-3 over the 3-4, but because of the abundance of linebackers, first-round picks and that, and not as many defensive linemen. 2nd and 9.
2nd down 9. The rollout. The naked dumps it off. This is Fowler with it. Lionel Washington makes the tackle at the 5-yard line. Boy, Pelor's got some numbers.
This is a little bootleg out off. Now follow this tackle. He goes away from the play. That holds all the people here. They run the action here, and he comes out with the ball by himself looking for the receiver. I remember this play so well, Tom, because, see the fullback slip out there? One day we had a chance to beat him in Philadelphia, and it was late in the ball game, and they ran that, and it kept their drive going, and they went on to beat us. I remember that play. I mean, I wake up in the middle of the night dreaming about that darn thing once in a while. And they use that in this area of the field many times through the year.
12 of 16 for Pelor, 119 yards in only the 2nd half. 1st and 5, 1st and goal. To the 2 goes Todd Fowler.
Todd Fowler had come into the game only getting to carry the ball one time this year, so I think he's having a fun day.
Can you see the difference now that Hackett has come from San Francisco and is helping coordinate the offense?
It's a different style. It's a 49ers style offense. They run a lot of formations. I mean, there's different people. It caught me by surprise a few times where people line up differently. Short passing game. Hey, it's a different style.
Dallas 37-6 with 2 minutes left. By the way, to watch a football game. The Cowboys have been here since 1971. They moved over from the old Cotton Bowl. Listen, what about running the score up? These days, does a coach have to score enough points?
You have to. You have to because of the tiebreaker and your division races. In 1980, we won the division because we had more points, and they beat us in the last game of the season. But we had more points. And therefore, the tiebreaker was the point thing. He's got to go ahead and try to score.
So you're not trying to humiliate the other coach or team. You just got to score as long as that clock's still running. Pelor on short yardage. 2nd and goal, and Fowler may have gotten the line of scrimmage.
Barely. Good penetration by the defensive line. See, they haven't hung that up down there. They're still gambling, still fighting and biting and scratching.
Mark Duda making the tackle. Baldinger in there. Crawford Kerr is back in there. The depth of this team is what I keep in the back of my mind. I keep thinking they've got a lot of quality players. They're outside receivers. They've got Banks. They don't even get to throw too much anymore, and he's a good receiver.
Right. Tuyane, the left tackle who started the ball game, has been a defensive lineman. He's been a center. He's been a guard. And now he's in playing good football for him as a left tackle. And they think he's going to be a super player.
3rd and goal from the 4. The Cardinals are really going to try to stuff this. The best spins, and it's knocked for a loss to the 5-yard line. Good play by Freddie Joe Nunn.
Were there many guys like Freddie Joe Nunn and Billy Bob Jean and all that kind of stuff when you were playing?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
I have so much brain damage, I probably don't remember some of the names.
But you get more of those kind of names when you get out into this Texas area now.
Bobby Lane, you know, Bobby's up watching this broadcast from Lubbock right now, the old quarterback. 4th and goal from the 5.
Going for the points here, Tom.
Going for the point.
They're going to come a little play-action pass.
Play-action pass, roll out of some kind. Bounce back into it.
Nope.
Yeah. Sounds like a scene from Quo Vadis when they're cheering when it's 37-6 for more touchdowns. Cardinal offense comes out. Lomax leading them back out. First time the Cowboys touched the ball, they went down and got the field goal. There's something about getting on that board first. And then, of course, they added up later, but that's not a bad advantage, is it?
No, it isn't. When these guys, they were very deliberate today in everything they did. And then they got the spectacular scoring plays, you know, the deep passes for the touchdown, one to Hill and one to Sherrod. They really executed well.
And they rested Tony Dorsett. From the end zone. Lomax going outside. Hits the open receiver. That's Wolfley. Still on his feet. Knocked out at the 34 by Holloway.
You know, St. Louis came in this ball game now, believe it or not, Tom, ranked number 4 in total defense, having only given up 274.1 yards a game. So you can see how good Dallas executed their offense today, or St. Louis's defense is overrated. One or the other. Huh?
That's right. Could be. I'm afraid Dallas might make you look like you were overrated when they get it really polished. 18 seconds left. Lomax trying the screen to the outside. That's Sikahima, the BYU running back for.
Boy, he's a real plus. You know, he's, I think, 2nd in the NFC in punt returns right now with 11.7 yards per punt return. So he's a real plus and a real good draft as a player for St. Louis in the future.
Take a look at these standings and keep in mind that Washington, New York play Monday night. Dallas 6-2. And, of course, next week, you know what happens. These Dallas Cowboys head for the Northeast to play at the Meadowlands. And should the Giants, of course, beat Washington, it'd be a 3-way tie come late Monday night for the NFC East. Tough division. What you always thought, right?
You bet.
Roy Green at midfield steps out of bounds. Good to see him back in that Cardinal uniform.
He'll get involved in the offense more each week, I think, Tom, and they'll end up putting some more points on the board. You watch. Hey, next week we've got them. You watch. The Eagle game, St. Louis, they'll put some points on the board.
That'll be interesting to see the Buddy Ryan defense of the moment against these Cardinals, because I think the Cardinals have a good football team.
Well, they're better than this. We know that.
Just wonder how good Dallas is. That might be the big question. Last play. It's up there, and it is no good and incomplete. Final score, Dallas 37, St. Louis Cardinals 6.